Australian football's meteoric rise in year one of the A-League exceeded all expectations. Over 1 million fans went through the gates to embrace the long-awaited dawn of a new era in the domestic game. The new A-League didn't disappoint. Homegrown talent came flooding back, complemented by a sprinkling of marquee magic. There were goals in abundance.
Rick, early shot. Fernando Rick has threaded the eye of the needle. If that's a winner, it's a worthy goal.
And saves to boot.
What a save from Jim Bolton, the save of the season.
The old National Soccer League was scrapped and replaced with 8 teams, 1 per city, including a foreign representative from New Zealand. They battled it out over 21 rounds, followed by a dramatic top 4 playoff series. So sit back and enjoy an action-packed journey through the highs and lows of the inaugural A-League Championship.
Yeah, and no one like me. Yeah.
A bold new image of football in Australia. The A-League advertising campaign hit the streets running 7 days ago. Targeting 16 to 24-year-olds, a host of A-League players strutting their stuff in various urban locations to the sounds of New Zealand hip-hop sensation Scribe.
It's exciting times. We feel a bit like rock stars doing that advert. The song was a song that we all listened to before games, and definitely heading in the right direction.
It's just fantastic for the game here in this country, and hopefully the general public can see the effort and the enthusiasm that's been created by the people involved.
Some 500 guests attended the launch in Sydney on Monday, calling for all Australians to get behind the A-League. The FFA has gone to the market with its catchphrase, "It's football, but not as you know it."
The future is in your hands. The board, the management have done its bit. Now it's up to the people of Australia.
People want to come out and see attractive football. They don't want to come out to see boring nil-nils and that kind of stuff. You know, they want to see people entertained. People want to get their, what they call, value for money.
The FFA confirmed an estimated $3 million is being spent to launch the A-League brand, the biggest marketing budget in the history of Australian football.
The man on the street's talking about it, and you can't achieve much more than that if you're being talked about. So it's a bit early days yet to measure the success of the ad itself, but certainly the ultimate measure is going to be people turning up for the games and people watching the A-League on television. I mean, they're the real measures.
It's believed the TV commercial alone costs more than $600,000 to produce. Money relatively well spent, according to one advertising industry observer.
But overall, I think it's doing a very, very good job for just promoting football per se, but not necessarily A-League as a brand or as a championship or as, you know, in the same way as in the UK you promote the Premiership as opposed to football as a sport.
A game that sells itself in football countries like England, but all agree Australia is a very different proposition, with the competition starting from scratch in one of the world's most competitive sporting environments. And only time will tell if the FFA has painted the right picture. The Newcastle Jets preparing for takeoff and the honour of hosting the first match of the A-League. But there's a feeling of uncertainty in the air, with football and rugby league locked in a dogfight for publicity. The Knights bid farewell to their favourite son Andrew Johns on Saturday, 24 hours after the Jets get their campaign off the ground.
Unfortunately, we're playing one day before the Knights, which is a little bit disadvantaging our club, but it doesn't matter. We're all here in the same city. I think once we get going, we'll have huge crowds coming to the games.
Owner Con Constantine, who says all clubs will lose money in the first 3 years of the new competition, is banking on home crowds averaging 10 to 12,000.
But after the third year, I think that's when the actual soccer will take off.
No such luxury for English coach Richard Money. He'll be evaluated on results in year one. Uruguayan fullback Mateo Corbo, the latest addition to a squad that boasts an impressive array of local talent, including Milicic, Zelic and Karl.
I think we'll be consistent and we'll be competitive. And I think if we can get on a roll, then I think we're going to be very dangerous for everybody.
Hoping for a good start against Adelaide United and something to build on. Despite indifferent results during the pre-season, captain Ned Zelic, who's carrying a knee injury, believes his side can go all the way.
I'm convinced, and that is my belief. Obviously, I think everybody has to set themselves goals, and that's a goal that I think is realistic and is reachable.
Newcastle's top gun striker Ante Milicic could be a surprise inclusion this Friday. A calf muscle injury has kept him sidelined since early May. But if he's fit and firing, the Jets might just learn how to fly.
People that know me know that I'm a double-digit striker, and I've done that for the the years that have gone by, and I intend to do that this year. Hopefully if I'm injury-free. I don't see any reason why I won't be at the top of the scoring charts.
On August 26, 2005, over 13,000 fans in Newcastle saw history in the making, as Adelaide United gave us an early indication of its championship credentials.
Cut out by Picken. Now Costanzo will switch it to Adam Van Dommel. Pentelis. Go back and start again. Belcanis sends it across now to Van Dommel. Here's Veert, tagged by Deans. Got himself a little bit of space here, Carl Veert. The cross comes in, and it is in! And Adelaide United score the historic goal, and it's Carl Veert who's knocked on the door, and he has the goal.
Well, he's looked dangerous, hasn't he? This time, he makes Newcastle pay with some sloppy defending in the centre of defence. A wonderful ball in from Ross Aloisi, and it was well played. They switched from right to left, went through Costanzo, came back. This is Ross Aloisi on the ball, whips this one across, gets in between two defenders, glancing header, 1-0 to Adelaide.
Left-stranded Liam Reddy. What an effort from Carl Veert. He's given the Jets defence some hurry-curry in this match, and it might be something of a shock, but Adelaide have arrived with the opening goal here. Nick Carl swings it in at the back post. What a chance for Jade North. Not the first time he's got into that position. But the header, as we watch it here, a measured cross from Carl. And Jade North just couldn't get the direction. And is that the last chance for the Jets to get something from this match? Beltrami sends it long. Here's Musalik. Back to Picken. 93rd minute, the last of 3 extra minutes. Zelic is tagged by Dodd. He keeps possession. North to Musalik. Now Johnson. Back to Musalik. Zelic is free. Eagleton. Adelaide shift across the park. Zelic was clipped. He plays on. Eagleton down the flank. He goes deep to the back post. The header comes back across. And Adelaide get it to safety. And there is the final whistle. And the Adelaide United players celebrate. There are celebrations right across the camp. Newcastle Jets 0, Adelaide United 1.
So Carl Veert's historic goal was enough to give Adelaide maximum points. Queensland Roar and Central Coast Mariners also off to winning starts, while Sydney FC and Melbourne Victory shared the spoils in front of more than 25,000 fans at Aussie Stadium. Melbourne fought back after former Manchester United striker Dwight Yorke had given Sydney the lead. Australian international Archie Thompson's perfectly timed header sealed a valuable point. Perth Glory, beaten by a Noel Spencer wonder strike, was set for a long season after making significant changes to the side which took out the last NSL title in 2004.
Emerging from the shadows of his father, few would have known who Steve McMahon Jr. was until his arrival in Perth this week, but Dad had plenty to say about those who questioned his decision to bring his son to Western Australia.
It's not nepotism. People will say that. I just want to try and put the record straight once and for all that he's here because he's a decent player and he's earned the right to be. So give him a break, please.
Perhaps the scepticism is understandable. McMahon Jr.'s playing record hasn't yet reached the heady heights of his dad. He's played just 23 league games for lower league outfits Blackpool and Kidderminster. But McMahon Sr. feels he has something to offer Glory.
He's not going to be a Maradona and go past 6 and 7 players at one stage, but what he does do, he helps the team. He's a team player.
McMahon Jr. seems to have settled in well enough at his new club, and he's obviously used to having his dad as a boss, and the pressure that brings.
As I say, I've had it all my life really, so I know what's going to be said, I know what people think, but at the end of the day it's up to me to prove people wrong and show what I can do.
Newcastle United Jets have begun pre-season training. New arrival from England Richard Johnson back home for the first time in a decade, joining the likes of Ante Milicic and Nicky Carl in what's shaping up to be a very competitive looking squad. Paul Ocon could yet be added to the Jets squad. Agent Leo Carris confirming this week that talks had been held with John Paul de Marini's outfit. The two parties still a little apart financially, according to the Jets. Whether Marini will be joined by Terry Venables in a coaching capacity remains in doubt. Owner Con Constantine is still keen for Venables to come, but the former Socceroo coach has TV commitments in Britain until May. Melbourne Victory has taken its roster to 12 by adding young Socceroos Christian Sarkis and Adrian Leia to its squad. Both had trials recently with English Premier League club Everton, but have opted to stay in their native Victoria.
23-year-old Michael Ferrante has bittersweet memories of his time abroad. After joining English club West Ham as a teenager, the attacking midfielder ended up in the lower divisions of Italian football, a move which ultimately convinced him it was time to come home.
For a while now, I've wanted to come back into Australia, but the league didn't really have much to offer. And once the new league was approved and was going ahead, I decided to come back and I thought it was time. And to be honest with you, Melbourne Victory was the only club that I was going to play for. I mean, being at home, my family and friends, playing for my home state is just a thrill beyond words.
Melbourne Victory's recruitment phase started later than other clubs, yet despite missing out on some of the country's most sought-after players, the early signs are promising. Ferrante, a former youth international, is among 7 players signed up for Victory, joining the likes of Socceroo striker Archie Thompson, who turned his back on Belgium to lead Melbourne's attack.
Yeah, Melbourne Victory said all along we want to combine some experienced talent with the best young talent in Australia, and I think the value of Michael is Michael brings both to the table. He's got some international calibre as well as having that still being only 23 years old. It's terrific.
Midfielders Vince Lear and Chris Tedros, both currently away in the Solomon Islands on young Socceroos duty, are the first 2 of a minimum 3 players each club must sign under the age of 20. The first defensive pieces are starting to fall into place as well. Michael Theoklitos, whose penalty shootout heroics guided Bulleen to the Victorian Premier League title, should be the first choice keeper. Simon Story and Mark Burns both bring versatile qualities to the back line, but the latter, at just 23, has a range of experience from spells in Italy, Austria and Finland, not to mention in the green and gold at youth level. He also helped Perth Glory to last season's NSL Championship. In round 2, only Sydney emerged victorious from its trip to Auckland. Central Coast and Newcastle drew 1-1 in the first local derby, while Melbourne's clash with Perth produced a 4-goal thriller in front of another bumper crowd of 18,000 at Olympic Park.
Almost 10 minutes gone, still no goals between the Victory and the Glory. Whipped in. Shot. It's found the target. The victory in front. And Richard Kitzbichler has delivered for the victory.
And you can put that one down to the quality of the delivery from Sakis. All sorts of pace and venom on that. Defender's nightmare, and what a finish. Debut home match, and Kitzbichler does it so well. Unsighted Petkovic would have been. What a drill. What a brilliant ball in. Second one. The first one was a great delivery from the other side. The second one created the goal. The 10-second rule, if you like. We lose it. Let's get it back as quickly as we can.
Miller. Good ball inside. Chance here for the glory. Caceres has stunned the crowd. A simple route to goal. Miller with the long ball. Caceres got there in time. Galekovic was caught out. And the Glory equalise at Olympic Park.
And that's the cruel option of our world game. Just a half mistake there from Galekovic.
Mark Burns returning from suspension. Taking his place alongside Jeffrey Clays. That is the first choice defensive pairing of Ernie Merrick, although young Adrian Leia has good reason to feel a little bit unlucky. He had a good game against Sydney last week. Chance here for the Glory! Shock, surprise, Bobby Despotovsky has delivered the goods. They went to sleep, the Melbourne Victory, and he is the best predator in the business.
Well, there it is. We spoke about it in the first half, the Batman and Robin dynamic duo, and there it was. Brian Dean, great little header. And he's ever so nicely and cool and calm. Bobby Despotovsky, good nudge from the big man. Nice little first, and then the second. Third one to set it up, and bang.
Muscat. Possession play by Melbourne. Probing for the opening. Good ball. Allsop. Recchia. Down he goes, the challenge was in, and the referee points to the spot. A lifeline for Melbourne Victory. Can he do it for the victory? Muscat against Petkovic. And Muscat wins out. The Melbourne Victory back on level terms. And the crowd erupt. He's loving it.
Couldn't happen to a nicer, more passionate man. Kevin Muscat may not be the best penalty he's ever struck in his life, but as they say in the other code in this beautiful state, you don't get a point for missing a goal here.
Well, Kevin Muscat has got stronger as this game has gone on. Tad Rossi. And virtually a rugby tackle by Kovacevic. And that, in fact, is the final whistle. And what a game this has been. It's had everything. A full house, 4 goals, passion, excitement, frustration, anxiety. A superb advertisement for the Hyundai A-League. The final score here at Olympic Park. The Melbourne Victory 2, the Perth Glory 2.
Sydney FC, having recorded its first win of the season, approached round 3 in high spirits, bolstered by the return of star striker Dwight Yorke, who'd been away with Trinidad and Tobago on international duty. A New York up to his old tricks. His first training session with Sydney FC simply confirmed he's as deadly as ever in front of goal.
Yeah, next one better, yeah.
As for his fitness, Sydney boss Pierre Libarski had no complaints.
Actually, there was no sign that he is not fit.
That depends on who you ask, and the man himself has a very different view.
I'm way short. As I say, I've got 8 weeks before the start of the season. That's my target. And so I've got another 8 weeks before I get into full swing.
After a few weeks off, he's already at work developing his strike partnership with David Zdrilic. Those two are favoured to lead Sydney's attack, but Sasha Petrovski might have other ideas. Libarski may even accommodate all three up front, especially since York began his career as a winger.
It was quite impressive because he was actually moving around Andy Cole, and that gives us an opportunity maybe to get both other forwards more free. Maybe we can play also with three, but I didn't think about that. We will try a few things in the pre-season games.
So in the absence of seeing York in a competitive situation with his new team, the early signs are promising. He doesn't expect too many problems settling in. After all, whether it's Sydney or Manchester, one thing never changes.
The easy bit is obviously meeting the lads and getting adjusted to the players here. It's never been a problem. As I said, football to me is the easy bit. Once I've got the living side of things sorted out, football is what I do best, and I enjoy doing that.
In round 3, Adelaide continued on its winning ways. Perth recorded its first victory thanks to a Bobby Despotovski double. New Zealand upset the Mariners, and despite York's availability, Sydney FC suffered its first defeat in Newcastle.
Whipped in towards the near post, cleared by Bingley. And the shot from Jade North was blocked by Sydney FC, still with Newcastle. Promising start to the game, this for the home team. Time and space now for Milicic, who's drifted wide. Has Zalic in support. Milicic working the 1-2 with Carl. Milicic has breached the wall, and Newcastle are in front. A perplexed Clint Bolton wonders how it all went so horribly wrong.
What a great start for Newcastle. Jetson Ante Milicic. Here he plays a 1-2 there with Ned Zelic. Plays a nice little ball in there to Nicky Carl, 1-2. And a beautiful little dink over Clint Bolton's head.
Milicic and Carl, a productive combination already for the Jets. And that is a cool finish from one of the coolest customers in the game. The 100th goal that Ante Milicic has scored in club football in Australia. And a precious one at that. Carl again, the same trick, this time it pays off. Milicic in space, where's the support? Fife across in cover, chance here for Johnson! Richie Johnson! Fantastic start from Newcastle. Sydney are all at sea.
Absolutely brilliant. What teamwork there. Beautiful ball by Nicky Carl. He's tried that probably 30 seconds before. Ante Milicic just got caught offside and he's done it again.
Well, he made a specialty of this when he was playing in England, Richie Johnson. The goal from long range, and this is one of his better ones.
Beautiful ball there from Nicky Carl. Ante Milicic making a wide run, holding the ball up, and a great strike there by Richie Johnson.
Had to keep his head over the ball, the number 7 from Newcastle. Intelligent ball from Milicic. And the outside of the boot from Johnson. Bolton saw it too late. And what a scoreline we have here at the Energy Australia Stadium. It's Newcastle 2, leading Sydney 0. And we're less than 20 minutes into the match.
They're using a lot of energy, sapping a lot of energy, chasing in the central midfield, but they've got to keep their outlet right up front, give them a way of getting out of their own half.
Well, Stevie Corica has just flown in on his opponent, and he has a look at the colour, and he doesn't like what he sees. It's all getting a bit ugly here at the Energy Australia Stadium, as the frustrations boil over. Cordoba was involved. The referee has made his decision, and it's a long, lonely walk to the dressing room for Steve Corica. And Matthew Breeze now trying to sort through what happened after the incident. Corica sent from the field, Sydney FC down to 10 men.
Will Corbo be in trouble for running in and causing even more problems? And that's his as well.
Corbo, a second yellow, so it's 10 apiece. And that is something which his coach, Richard Money, will be very, very unhappy about. He'd already been booked, Corbo. And the coach asking the question, what were you doing?
Very disappointing there from two experienced players. Steve Corica, especially Pierre Lebarski, would be frustrated with that. Steve Corica had 2 goes at young Mark Bridge. First go he just missed, but the second one he did collect him. Here we see it, Mike. You see Steve Corica there lash out at him. Mark Bridge rides that one, but he gets up. You'll see Steve Corica coming here again from behind him with a high challenge and a nasty challenge. Steve Corica should know better than that.
The official crowd today, 8,591. And the vast majority of them will go home happy if this scoreline stays as it is. Early cross from Checkerley. York. And Dwight York has given Sydney a lifeline. Sydney back in the contest, and an unsmiling Dwight York has given him the opportunity.
And there's the quality of Dwight York. A good ball in from Alvin Checkley. Sasha Petrovsky having an aerial duel there with Picken, and drops to Dwight York and a lovely finish.
Well, that is proving the point, and Dwight York has done it with a lovely first touch and a cool finish. Packer. And that has cleared the head of Petrovsky, and Reddy will take his time. Checkerley. The Jets fly high. Newcastle had their first win of the season. What a famous win it is too. Sydney FC threw everything at the Jets. They couldn't find the breakthrough in the dying stages. It's Newcastle Jets 2, Sydney FC 1.
The shock of the round, however, saw the New Zealand Knights defeat Laurie McKinna's Central Coast Mariners, the modest outfit from Gosford, which had been a revelation during the pre-season. This was no less than the Central Coast Mariners deserved at the end of an impressive pre-season campaign. Runner-up to Sydney FC in the Australian World Club Championship qualifiers earlier this year, Laurie McKinna's men refused to leave their own stadium empty-handed again. They overcame an early setback after losing star striker Nicky Merger with a knee injury that should keep him sidelined for 2 weeks.
It's just his first run tonight. He was just a bit through and just a bit touched the ball past the keeper, and it's just pulled up. He's landed on it and it's came up sore, so he's going for an MIR scan Monday or Tuesday, and we'll see how he is.
The Mariners played with purpose in front of more than 6,500 fans in Gosford. Jason Petkovic made a good save from Matthew Osman's strike, but the one-time Socceroo keeper was caught in two minds as the home side went ahead on 38 minutes. Perth boss Steve McMahon blamed Petkovic in the press as substitute Stuart Petrie headed home Noel Spencer's cross for the only goal of the match.
A lot of people didn't think we'd make it to the final of this competition. We did, and we enjoyed it, but we can only get better.
Nick Ward, whose solitary strike snapped Sydney FC's 18-match unbeaten streak in the semi-final, went desperately close to levelling the scores. The second half was a scrappy affair as the reigning Australian champions from the days of the old NSL made way for the new kids on the block. In round 4, the Knights crumbled in Newcastle, Adelaide won in Perth, Queensland drew with Melbourne, and the Mariners set sail for Sydney with a score to settle, following their defeat in the final of Australia's Club World Championship qualifiers.
Now Pondulyak. Cross isn't great, but skipping through was Gumprecht, who almost took it in his stride. Pondulyak might get a second bite. In the end, Talay comes away for the home team. Finds York, who can turn and look up and release Carney. It's Carney for Sydney FC, but good work. Still they come. Talay, Dwight York, Carney. York might get the return. Still York. Dwight York goes all the way. And there is the opening goal crafted by York for Andrew Packer.
Well, it was a wonderful move from Sydney FC. It started all the way back in their own half with Talay playing it through to York, out to Carney. They managed to get a tackle, regain the ball, 1-2 with Carney. Good strength here. Dwight York cutting inside, whipping that across. No chance for John Crawley. Great play from Dwight York. And Packer did what he had to do, coming in from the left-hand side. You see the strength. Whips this one across, slight deflection. And that's an easy finish for Packer.
Now York being pressured. Petrie plays it in, a chance for the Mariners. They cry for a penalty, and it's given against Mark Rudin, who cannot believe it. And there it is. Stuart Petrie gets the Mariners back to 1-1.
Great penalty from Stuart Petrie. Decisive, picked his spot and hit it there with pace. You see here Petrie playing in Tommy Pondulyak. A clash, Pondulyak goes down. O'Leary pointing to the spot and Petrie dispatches it.
Gave Bolton no chance. It was clumsy from Rudin. Now Heffernan. Cut out by Checkerley. Little dink over the top from Pondulyak, who goes for the return ball. Here's Gumprecht! All alone, Andre Gumprecht, and the Central Coast Mariners take the lead.
And a good strike from Andre Gumprecht. Talked about him. Hasn't been very influential on the match so far. You can't get much more influential than this. Sydney just don't deal with it. Checkley and Rudin going for the same ball. Gumprecht goes in by himself. Here we see Rudin, Checkley, same ball with Pondulyak. It drops, falls nicely. Good strike, keeps it down, low across the keeper. 2-1 to Central Coast.
Carney releases Talay. Ball in for York. It's Dwight York! And the crowd comes up. A beautiful goal from Sydney FC. And the marquee signing brings the Glamour Club back to 2-2.
What a wonderful move. Talay breaking down the right-hand side. But he got his head up. He saw Dwight York's run. Played in by David Carney. This one between the defence and the goalkeeper, and cool as you like, Dwight York buries it.
All about the weight on the delivery. And there it is from Peter O'Leary. Massive boos around Aussie Stadium. A dramatic match that's finished. Sydney FC 2, the Central Coast Mariners 3.
to round 5 and Archie Thompson gave Melbourne its first win. Perth bounced back in New Zealand, Adelaide drew with Central Coast, and Sydney was hoping to avoid a third straight loss away to an attack-minded Queensland Roar.
From the Queensland Lions came the Roar, a new image, a philosophy and a will to tame the new National A-League.
On behalf of all the board, everybody at Roar, I'd like to invite you all to join our family. It is a family, and I'd like to create something that's going to be really special.
Former rugby league legend John Rebo may not be the most liked man south of the border, but in Queensland he's a hero, not only for his State of Origin performances, but also for helping establish the Brisbane Broncos.
I look forward to talking a lot more to you over the years and enjoying many good wins with Roar and as we challenge the rest of Australia to the mantle of being the best team in Australia, and obviously we don't forget New Zealand.
If ever a national football competition will work, this new A-League will. And the Roar have importantly badged themselves as being the club for all of Queensland, not just Brisbane, having already played in Townsville and having games lined up for Cairns and other parts of the state.
No more returning to the bad old days of old soccer. This is all about new football.
For new coach Miron Bleiberg, the challenge not only comes from bringing together a new group of players, but also working within the realms of a new establishment.
You hear from day one that you must win, it's important to win, how important it is to win, and you must win, and so on. So no pressure, and life is nice, but as I said, we live in a Sun State, and life is good, and I believe in the boys that I chose, and I foresee that we're going for good things.
And for new captain Chad Gibson comes the pressure of sharing the sporting spotlight with the likes of Broncos rugby league star Darren Lockyer and Brisbane Lions Brownlow medalist Michael Voss.
It's an added responsibility for me, for the club, that it's an unbelievable honour that the club's granted me, and it's something that I cherish every day, and something that I'll never let them down.
The Roar will go into the new season without signing a major marquee player. Instead, its 20th and final squad member will be filled by the former Marconi and Feyenoord striker Alex Brosk.
I'm ecstatic to be here. Everything looks good. From everything that's been set, the whole setup, from the coaching staff down to the players. I mean, everything looks great, and really happy to be here.
Welcome to the magnificent Suncorp Stadium for this round 5 Hyundai A-League fixture. The Queensland Roar at home to Sydney FC in what has been billed as a State of Origin battle. Queensland Roar make a few changes to their side. Warren Moon gets a starting position in midfield. Josh McLaughlin pushes into midfield, and Spase Deleski joins a 3 men up front, including Royce Brownlee, who takes over from Alex Brosk, who goes back to the bench with an injury, and Jonty Richter demoted to the bench. Sydney FC make changes as well. Skipper Mark Rudin is out with injury. Jacob Timpano comes in. Steve Corica in midfield, back from suspension. Dwight York takes the captain's armband, and Sasho Petrosky joins him up front, relegating David Zrilic to the bench. The referee for this battle is Matthew Breeze. And away we go to a terrific roar here around Suncorp. Big crowd in. Queensland in the traditional orange, Sydney in the away strip of white. And as we mentioned earlier, Sydney 2 straight losses coming into this match. 1 point behind Sydney on the ladder. Behind Queensland, I should say, on the ladder. And an early shot comes in. Terry McFlynn bursting through from midfield, and an early test for Tom Willis.
Good strike from McFlynn. Bounces down, York shielding the ball, leaves it for him.
Here's the youngster, Timpano, deputising for Mark Rudin. Checkerley inside for Corica, who can go on a little gallop, but working back was Murdoch, and might still fall for York. Now here's Corica, and he chips over Tom Willis. And that is one way to silence Suncorp.
Well, Queensland had the chance to clear it. They didn't, and what a way to come back from his suspension. So you see Corica here gets a bit of luck off Carl Dodd. The ball could have been cleared, it broke kindly, and he just dinks that one over the advancing Willis. A coolly taken strike from Steve Corica. A great start for Sydney.
Yes, for once, Huksu Siao getting it all wrong. Warren Moon goes deep. McLaughlin was there, and it's in the net, and it may be an own goal. Timpano, I think, is stuck out a boot, and Suncorp explodes.
Plus the ball comes in, delivery to the back post. West with the head back, and it's come off unfortunate Jacob Timpano. Sydney not dealing with the danger. It's a regulation clearance. It's a decent delivery. The back header. And Timpano gets it all wrong and gives the Queensland Roar an equaliser.
In the meantime, Dwight York has received a yellow card here from Matthew Breeze. David Carney, who was left all alone. No flag, the cross is not great.
He was breaking his neck to get there, David Carney.
6 corners for Sydney, 4 to the Roar, in from Talay. Willis is up. The blast, what a strike! Stevie Corica, number 2 for him, and 2 for Sydney.
Well, against the run of play, Sydney. And what a night it's turning out for Steve Corica as the away fans celebrate. Suncorp stunned. Another set piece. Tele with the ball in. Willis with the punch. First time volley from Steve Corica.
67th minute. Sydney go back in front.
Dwight York, much every time.
Well, what's happened here? It's gone to Petrovski, who missed his shot or couldn't get it away. Now McFlynn might line it up. He tries to dink it over Willis, and he does it. And it has gone out the window for Queensland Roar. Sydney FC fans celebrate, and an absolute disaster for the home team.
Well, Petrovski had the best chance. He had an open goal, but he dwelt on it. Took too long. Willis was advanced, and McFlynn with a great finish. Chips in with the left foot, cuts inside, gets his head up. He knows where Willis is. Dinks this one over, back of the net, 3-1 to Sydney. But what a mistake from Queensland Roar.
But when a lot of players were losing their heads, Terry McFlynn kept his. Away by Timpano, well, not really away. Richter just put a little shove in there on Ian Fife. He can protest all he likes, Jonty, but that will no doubt be all she wrote for the Suncorp fans. And there is the final whistle. It's a relieved Sydney FC who are back on the winning track. Mirren Bleiberg will wonder where it went wrong in that second half. They storm back to 1-1, but in the end it has finished Queensland Roar 1, Sydney FC 3.
So, with a quarter of the regular season complete, Adelaide had a 3-point break on the Central Coast, followed by Sydney, Newcastle and Perth, all a further point back. Round 6 confirmed an early trend. Once again, the away teams looked far more at home, with Adelaide, Sydney and Queensland all recording victories. Melbourne too, spearheaded by Socceroos striker Archie Thompson, overcame a tough obstacle in Gosford.
Here it comes from Sarkis, and there it is for Melbourne, and it is Archie Thompson who snuck in there.
Say we're delighted to be a bit of an understatement, I think. Archie Thompson best exemplifies what the league's all about, I think, and that's bringing quality talent to the A-League.
A scorer of 17 goals in just 8 national appearances for the Socceroos, Thompson broke the world record held by Victory football manager Gary Cole for most goals in a match, 13 against American Samoa.
The Melbourne public have been waiting for a fair while for our first signing, so he's a quality player, it's a quality addition to our squad, and he's the first part of building our marquee team.
I think anybody that's seen Archie play in person rates him very highly. He's a one-man excitement machine. He scores goals, he takes players on. It's a sort of attacking style that fans love to go and watch.
He sees that as a wonderful opportunity to further his career. He's not just coming back to finish it, he's coming back to further it, and we believe that he'll actually increase his chances of playing for the Socceroos.
There was a lot of expectations with scoring these 13 goals, and I think a lot of especially my club and a lot of the press and that thought that, okay, this guy, he scores 13 goals in a match, then obviously he's going to come out and score 4 or 5 every game, and it's just a lot of people don't realise what the opposition that I played against was. But it's a bit of a burden, but I mean it's great to have that.
Now, as his dedicated fan site on the web says, Archie's back. But the question is, will he stay long term?
Footballers can change so quickly, and for me, I like to just go back and experience the hype of the new league, and hopefully, if things go well, if I get another chance to come over to Europe and everything's fine with my wife to do that and everything like that, then I'm more than happy to do that.
With fellow Belgian-based Aussie Andy Vlahos joining Thompson in Melbourne, Victory is well on the way to fulfilling its boast of being a marquee team. And Thompson believes the club can crack the notoriously tough Victorian market.
Football's crying out for something, and especially in Melbourne, I feel, if we can just get the right promoting, and I think hopefully it can take off like the Melbourne Storm did, and I hope with the players that they are bringing back, such as Koroko and Drilic and all those sort of players, quality players, that the exposure they're going to give to the A-League, I'm hoping it'll take off in Melbourne.
Welcome to Gosford on the New South Wales Central Coast for this round 6 battle. The Central Coast Mariners at home to the Melbourne Victory. Always plenty of colour in this picturesque ground, and it should be a gripping battle between two very competitive teams. The Central Coast make a couple of changes, of course. Back to the bench goes Adam Kwasnick with injury. They've also lost Damien Brown through injury. No room still for Michael Beecham. So Laurie McKenna has had to shuffle the troops for this round 6 battle. The Melbourne Victory put out the same starting lineup that did the job, beating the Newcastle Jets by 1-0. The only new face is Chris Tadrossi on the bench. The referee for this one is Ben Williams. Ben Williams, the man in charge. As we kick off round 6, yes, Denny Vukovic, the man in goal. For the Mariners, Ben Williams has the whistle. He has had some tough assignments in the A-League so far, and this one won't be any easier. Two competitive teams with plenty to play for. Away we go, round 6, Hyundai A-League. Central Coast Mariners in their home yellow, and the A-League travelling strip of white for the Melbourne Victory, as Ben Williams finds an early foul here in favour of the Central Coast Mariners.
Very dangerous position. So we see Tommy Pondoliak going down, Ben Williams giving the free kick. A great opportunity in the opening minute for the Central Coast Mariners.
There is Galekovic, former Olyroos keeper, of course, back from Portugal in this historic first season. We might have some early work here. The shot comes in from Spencer. The deflection is nice for Galekovic. Now Sarkis for Melbourne. Muscat in space. He goes deep. Again, Vukovic takes care of it. foul now on Petrie from Jeffrey Claes, who I have to say has made an indifferent start, the Belgian. .6-4, a foul against the Mariners so far in 32.5 minutes. John Hutchinson into the box. The climb, the keeper was stranded, Galekovic, and big Dean Heffernan has put the Mariners in front. He rolled the dice, Galekovic, he didn't make it, and Heffernan made them pay.
John Hutchinson with the delivery. Galekovic comes out into no man's land. Dean Heffernan comes up from left back, just glances this one over Galekovic and gives the Central Coast the lead, but Ernie Merrick will be furious with his defence. A free header, Galekovic coming out. That was too easy.
Now lurking out wide is Allsop. Pantelides. Here's Muscat. In for Kitzbichler. Muscat short for Thompson. He goes for the return, Muscat. And Ben Williams has charged over here, and he's going to book John Hutchinson for the challenge on Muscat. Well, we are headed for the spot in the 72nd minute. Muscat working with Archie Thompson. And it's saved by Vukovic, but not the second time. Thompson drags the victory back to 1-1, and they are none too pleased on the Central Coast.
Well, he gets lucky, Archie Thompson. Wasn't a great penalty, and Vukovic, with the save, picks the right way. But he's unlucky. He doesn't push the ball away. It comes straight back to Archie Thompson, and he makes no mistake with the second attempt.
Here's Allsop, who goes on a run. Danny Allsop, still Allsop. He's still going, Allsop, and side netting.
Well, that was the wrong option. He's done ever so well, Danny Allsop. He gets the corner. I feel he should just slide this one. Archie Thompson just waiting there. It was Mark Thompson, but it was a difficult angle, but great positive run from Allsop. He's had a good second half.
Has come right into the match. Allsop, the fingertips of Vukovic, gives Melbourne the corner. It's a good-looking corner! They don't mark up, and it's the young man, Adrian Leia, who has given the victory the lead in the 80th minute.
Well, this goal can also go down to Danny Allsop's positive run. Ted Rossi with the delivery. And really strong header. 3 yellow shirts around Adrian Leia. Laurie McKinnon won't be pleased. But again, another set piece, producing a goal.
Leo Carl is a player down in the victory box. Pondylyak, Leo Carl. Can he get across in Carl? It's at the back, they jump, and it goes. Galekovic with the fingertips from the header from Spencer. He stands in the last line, the Melbourne keeper. Spencer quickly whips it in, the touch, away by the victory. And they hang on. What an incredible 3 points for the Melbourne victory here at the Central Coast Stadium. It has finished. The Central Coast Mariners 1, Melbourne victory 2.
In round 7, Sydney's third straight win sent a clear message to the previously unbeaten Adelaide United. Elsewhere, Melbourne easily accounted for the Knights, the Roar drew with Central Coast, and Perth scored one of the biggest wins of the season in Newcastle.
Can a Newcastle side struggling to fill the team sheet head off a desperate Perth Glory team? Joining me in the commentary box is Alan Hunter.
Look forward! Look forward!
Miller. Chance here for Murray. Well, how good is this player? He knows where the back of the net is, and Damien Murray scores his first goal in the A-League.
Well, we warned the viewers. That's why that man has hit the back of the net so many times, aided by, once again, Bobby Despotovsky. The celebrations have been seen in the Wild West so many times. Beautiful ball. We spoke of Alan Picken, but for the first time as he holds his head, he's been well beaten by an experienced player. Despotovsky it is. Fantastic nod down.
Well, Despotovsky finds Murray almost. And what a well-worked kickoff that was. A smile from Damien Murray. They had a good chat about that one at the halfway line, and they almost caught Newcastle napping.
Well, the smile told a long story, because at one stage Damien Murray was the scorer of the fastest goal in the game. And that was almost the fastest goal of the restart.
Well, it will be a corner for the Glory. Ishida with the cross. Ishida. Chance here for the Glory. Point blank save, but he can't keep it out at the second attempt. Disaster, disaster for Newcastle, and Jamie Harnwell. Is that the killer blow?
Well, he probably had his heart in his hand for a moment. Once again, it's Ishida. The first cross caused the problems in there. The 50-50 opportunity. A lot of challenges. The ball bobbles out wide, and it's Ishida again. Lovely little shimmy there past Alan Picken. Clever ball, and the big fella's generally not going to miss those, but yeah, well, certainly just a little bit of frustration there sneaking into the game, and it's quite regularly happening when you're 2-0 down and things don't seem to be going your way as Perth create another one.
Good cross in. Despotovsky! Clean, precise, clinical. And it's a rout. The Glory had their third, and Newcastle are in deep trouble.
Well, not only did they create another one, they finished one. And the antics we've seen so many times. But for kids at home, it's all about the delivery. If you put some pace on there and you ask a player to be unmarked, as Bobby Despotovsky is in this instance, lovely ball from Coyne. That's the key.
Tarek Elrich, the younger brother, of course, of Socceroo Ahmed Elrich. Peas in a pod, really, when you look at them. And some people close to the family will tell you that Tarek is the better player at the same age. Ishida. Murray, too easy. Far, far too easy. He's got to brace Damien Murray. And he hasn't scored too many simpler goals than that.
And once again, the class of Murray is produced because of the class of the cross. Just have a look at this delivery. Absolutely perfect. He's still got a job to do, but magnificent from Ishida. He's been a consistent crosser all night, and definitely some poor marking from Corbo. It's a difficult one at the near post, but certainly I would always blame the defender. A lovely ball, and haven't we seen him score some goals in this country? I don't know if the goal produced that torn net, but it'll certainly have to be repaired very quickly.
So they picked up 3 points here on their travels, the Glory.
You just tell me when you want it.
Shot, it's found the top corner. It's a rout and a first touch and a goal from Sekalovsky. Norm Sekalovsky, he's been on for less than a minute, and he's hit the net.
And what a strike it was. Well left. A ball that probably didn't look dangerous initially. Lovely touch again. Or the slightest of touches, and the left foot has got some venom behind that one. You'd have to question the hands for the first time this season from Liam Reddy, but why not? Have a strike, son. You just come on there.
And in fact, it's all over. It's been a night to forget for the Newcastle Jets, a night that the Glory will want to remember for a long, long time, and no one will enjoy it more than Damien Murray. The final score at the Energy Australia Stadium, Newcastle Jets 1, Perth Glory 5.
A high-scoring round 8 saw Melbourne humiliate Sydney 5-0. More agony for the Knights, this time against Queensland, while Newcastle and the Central Coasts both scored 4 times to beat Adelaide and Perth respectively.
Well, after the completion of the other games of round 8, the mathematics for the Glory are a win here could take them up to 3rd position on the table. So real incentive for the Glory. Chance! And again it was Andre Gumprecht forcing the save this time out of Petkovic. O'Sullivan. Pondeliak. Dangerous ball inside. So easy. An open goal. The invitation accepted by Stuart Petrie.
What a wonderful passage of play there from the Central Coast. First of all, with Andre Gumprecht hitting the target, making Jason Petkovic make a save. Wayne O'Sullivan, a positive run there, plays the ball to Pondeliak, but what a lovely delivery in between Ante Kovacevic, the last man, Jason Petkovic, a goalkeeper, and Stuart Petrie there with an easy tap in on the back post.
Well, Petrie's not going to miss opportunities like that. Now Osman. Pondeliak asked to stretch his legs. He'll get there in front of Harnwell. Early cross looking for Petrie! Stuart Petrie! Number 2 for the Mariners, number 2 for Petrie. A delightful counter-attack from the Central Coast.
Exactly what we talked to Laurie McKenna about at half-time, with Tommy Pondeliak getting in behind Scotty Miller. And the Perth Glory's left-hand side of the defence, dragging Jamie Harnwell wide. Beautiful ball in there for Stewie Petrie. And what a delightful diving header from Stewie Petrie.
The second time that Tommy Pondeliak has been the provider, the second time that Stuart Petrie has finished the job. And it's a long way back for the Glory from here. Pondeliak in towards the corner. Petrie is arriving late. O'Sullivan, Heffernan, what a splendid, splendid goal from the Central Coast. And it's Dean Heffernan who finishes it off.
That was absolutely sensational teamwork. Central Coast in full flight. It sounds like we've been saying a repeat the whole night. Tommy Pondeliak down the right-hand side. Holds the ball up there, looks to support. Wayne Sullivan comes from deep. Good ball into the back post area there for Dean Heffernan. Getting inside his marker there. Tommy Pondeliak, what great vision there from Wayne O'Sullivan. Perth Glory will be extremely disappointed with their performance. They've really let themselves down in all areas tonight.
Chance for a fourth. Leo Carl, it's in. It's a rout. The Mariners have made it 4, and it's Noel Spencer who can't stop scoring.
Here we see Central Coast playing lovely one-touch football there. Noel Spencer plays it into Leo Carl. Ball falls down after Jason Petkovic saved it. Spencer with beautiful technique there on his left foot from a difficult angle, puts it right up in the top corner. He must love playing the Perth Glory.
Well, picked that one out of the back of the net. Noel Spencer just smacked that one into the top of the goal. His 4th of the season. And that, in fact, is the final whistle from Ben Williams. Sheer delight for the Mariners. A lot to think about for the Perth Glory. The final score at a rain-swept Central Coast Stadium. Central Coast Mariners 4, Perth Glory 0.
Welcome to Hyundai Stadium here in Adelaide for this opening match, Round 8 Hyundai A-League. Top of the table, Adelaide United against 7th place Newcastle Jets.
See here, Matthew Kemp playing it right back. Has a pretty good partnership on the right-hand side here with Richie Allegich. Great thing about those two players is they can interchange at ease. Richie Allegich played many times at right back. Matthew Kemp many times in right midfield, so it's a good little tandem here on the right-hand side for Adelaide United.
Now Zelic dispossessing Chu. Milicic. Carl's gone inside, still Milicic. Now links up with Johnson, who go wide for Thompson. Overlapping is North, in it comes. Just got a deflection, they don't deal with it, and it's in the goal off the shot of Milicic. We might have to check who got the final touch. It could well be an own goal.
Well, Ante Milicic accepting the congratulations, but you can tell by the look on his face that it's not his goal. I think you'll find this, Neil, is an own goal, but what great movement. Ball whipped in across. Valkanis missed it. And there's the ricochet. I think it's come off Christian Reese, but what a great run from Jade North.
I think it was Matthew Kemp who might have actually got the last touch.
You see again, flick through. Milicic spreading the ball wide. But good movement from Newcastle.
Yes, 13th minute. It is registered as an own goal against Matthew Kemp. Not much he could do about it. The blast out from the back. Diagonal switch is looking for Milicic. Christian Reese for company. Trying to pick out the late run from Johnson, but here's Nicky Carl, and what a finish from Carl! The big guns are back in the Jets lineup, and they are doing some early damage here at Hindmarsh.
What's another mistake? Adelaide United, Nicky Carl pounced onto this. Great strike, gets a lot of the outside of the boot onto this, swerves it in to beat Daniel Beltrami. And who would have believed that, beaten 5-1 at home by Perth Glory last week. And Adelaide United, top of the table. Newcastle have come here and shocked them. Newcastle taking a 2-goal lead.
The home fans stunned here. In by Chu. Reddy trying to get over the top of the traffic. Reese is on the ground. He has words with Thompson. And it's all threatening to go off. Marksfield, for a moment, can't get control of it. Plenty of words from Aloisi. Zelic is called out. So a yellow card for Christian Reese. Take it quickly, Adelaide. Good switch to Allegich. First time in, they might think about something here. Chu. Back to Allegich, who floats it into the back post. Viet had made the run. They stay up. Van Dommel. Aloisi was coming in, and he will get the corner.
There the ball coming off Corbo. Referee's assistant giving it. Good pressure from Adelaide United.
So again, Sheng King Chu will line this one up. It's deep. Picking again. Costanzo tries his luck. Off for Van Dommel. No, it's Carl Veert. Sorry, it's Ross Aloisi, and there it is! Well, he's done it again, Michael Valkanis.
Well, would you believe it? The centre-half coming up, getting another goal scored against Sydney last week. It's his third goal of the season, Michael Valkanis. There's a great ball in from Ross Aloisi. Newcastle really never cleared the danger. Costanzo had a bite of it, ended up playing out here to Aloisi. Feints across it with his right, comes back on his left. Great delivery, good downward header with angle. No chance for Liam Reddy, and Adelaide back in the ball game.
What a headache he is becoming for opposing defences. Now long throw from Alagic.
It's a corner. Yeah. Very dangerous from set pieces, Adelaide United.
So the big timber from the back goes up into the Newcastle box. There's Valkanis. He has Adelaide's goal tonight. In from Chu was short. Gets it back from Van Dommel. They will be allowed to go on here. Van Dommel was passive. And they'll get another chance from the corner.
Chu very relieved to get another corner because pretty much mucked that one up. Went short. And then was dispossessed, but he gets another bite at it.
8th corner of the match for Adelaide United. Swung in. It's dangerous. Ball in. And there is the equaliser. Big Christian Rees. They've done it again. Up from the back. First Valkanis. Now Rees. Right through the heart of the Jets' defence.
Well, Christian Rees, the two centre-halves. Probably at fault for the first goal for Adelaide United, but he's pulled one back here. The Newcastle players asking Mark Shield, is there a foul on Liam Reddy? I don't think there was. You see here, Liam Reddy, and it's his own player, Corbo, that gets in his way, and Christian Rees, virtually on the line, puts it away on 2-2.
Did it go off Rees or did it go off Mateo Corbo? Sure, Christian Rees really cared, but I think that will go down as an own goal off Corbo. It was a very tricky angle in such tight traffic.
Well, it was so tricky that it tricked me.
Well, he's fooled us, Christian Rees, the way he celebrated.
It doesn't really matter, does it? Because it's the more important thing for John Cosmina is that it's brought them level, but they now have a free kick to defend.
Thompson for Newcastle, they climb! And would you believe it? Ned Zelic found his way into the box. What Adelaide can do, Newcastle say we can do better.
Well, I think Adelaide United are still celebrating the equaliser. I think Ned Zelic comes back. First goal of the Hyundai A-League season for him. Perfect header. Direction. Gets in between two Adelaide defenders. Still, how many times do we say you're always most vulnerable when just after you've scored? And certainly that was the case for Adelaide United. But what a game we have here, 3-2.
3-2 to the Newcastle Jets. An outstanding header from Ned Zelic to put the visiting team back in front. They'd only just finished celebrating a goal that Christian Rees was claiming for all money. We will get confirmation that it came off the head of Mateo Corbo, but no doubt it came off the head of Ned Zelic as Adelaide. They go looking for a third.
Matthew Kemp with the free kick there, hitting the first man, and it was a good position. He's been excellent, Carl Baird again. A great season for Adelaide United.
Here's Travis Dodd. Slips around Corbo. Travis Dodd can measure the cross. All the way across. Pentelis! Bunted down by Reddy. Still with Adelaide. And bouncing up is Carl Veert, who wants to play on quickly. Shield demands.
Great chance. Travis Dodd just stands this up to the back post. Pentelis outside of the left foot. Pretty good save from Liam Reddy. Ball just wouldn't drop kindly for Adelaide United.
Ball into the box. Ujaya. Kemp. Cross to Veert, who missed his kick. Corbo is there. Milicic. He lays it off for Nicky Carl. Can he finish it, Nicky Carl? He can. Well, all the pressure from Adelaide, and they always threatened on the counter, Newcastle, and on 89 minutes they may have sounded the death knell for the competition leader.
Well, I'm sure it is, Neil. They didn't die trying. They didn't die guessing. Adelaide United pushing forward. That's a wonderful goal, and it's down to that man, Corbo. He chased from the left back to the right side, finally won the ball, laid it to Milicic, perfect ball to Nicky Carl. And that's a great finish. With a chance like this just before, which was well saved by Beltrami, outside of the left foot. Great technique. And Nicky Carl, second of the night. What a performance from Newcastle, you must say it. After losing 5-1 at home last week, they've come here to the competition leaders.
Laying down the clock now, the Jets. Talk about reignite a season. I guess in some ways similar to that home win against Sydney. As Mark Shield brings it all to a halt. Well, most of the crowd, as you can imagine, aren't too impressed, but what an end-to-end action it has been. It has finished here at Hindmarsh. Adelaide United 2, the Newcastle Jets 4.
Things were getting serious as Newcastle notched an important victory to leapfrog the Mariners. Adelaide returned to the winners list in Brisbane, and Sydney hit back with an expected win over New Zealand. Perth brought Melbourne's winning streak to an end despite the absence of prolific goalscorer Damien Morey, who was forced off, unable to remove a stubborn piece of jewellery.
With the glory. Free on the far post is Caceres. Dean shot! Brian Dean, the monkey off his back, he's finally hit the target in the A-League.
Great vision indeed to find Caceres at the far post, and the delivery was fantastic. So was the header that set up Brian Dean for his first. Was that a stroke of genius? Fortunate genius for Brian Dean to be on so early for the unfortunate Damien Morey to score the first goal for the home side. Perth Glory 1-0. The game's livened up now.
Well, he's waited 6 goals to find the net in Australia, and he's done it here at the Members Equity Stadium. Brian Dean. Mistake from Harwell, chance from Thompson. He's buried it. Archie Thompson silences the shed, and it was put on a plate by Jamie Harwell.
Put on a plate indeed by the skipper. He'll love to regret that, and certainly may, but you still have to finish them. And isn't that a quality finish from a man on fire? He hasn't been on fire to date, but give him a chance, and bingo, that's what he does with it, Archie Thompson. Plenty of pace on him, and certainly a lot in that finish.
There's Steve McMahon shuffling his deck in terms of his midfield. And that goal will it count. The referee across to talk to his assistant. The crowd is up. Sekalovsky's claiming it. What will be the decision? And it's a goal. Norm Sekalovsky off the bench has given the Glory the lead. In keeping with a bizarre afternoon, a ricochet gives Norm Sekalovsky the goal.
Well, the crowd love it, and the referee, you'd have to say, is part of early controversy, this time in the second half. It is Norm Sekalovsky, no doubt about that, his extra pace and fitness, but also put it down to silly defensive mistakes. First it was Jeffrey Clays, the more experienced one. A poorer back pass as well, the second one, and great charge down there.
Well, the question from Galekovic, as he cleared it, was that a handball? Did it come off the hand of Norm Sekalovsky? Jamie Hardwell, the skipper, will be keener than anyone to hold on to the 3 points here. And there is the full-time whistle. It's a memorable victory for the Glory against Melbourne. The winner eventually coming from Norm Sekalovsky, the substitute. Melbourne victory went into the round on top of the table, but they've been hauled back into the pack by a courageous Perth Glory side. The full-time score at the Members Equity Stadium, Perth Glory 2, Melbourne victory 1.
Another defeat followed for Melbourne at home to Adelaide in round 10.
Sixth corner of the match, 4 to Melbourne, 2 to Adelaide. It's Bickler. Crowd comes up. It's a better delivery. Again, Adelaide good in the air. There's the shot! Mark Burns has brought out the best in Daniel Beltrami.
What a strike. Has the time to turn, get some venom behind that.
Costanzo. Little ball over the top. Carl Viet! And it's in! The wonder from Whyalla. Carl Viet has dinked it over the top of Galekovic to stun Olympic Park. The travelling fans go off, and Adelaide have the lead.
Well, what a great finish. Galekovic stands, hands on the hips. And he came out and I said what a fine match he had. Costanzo, beautiful little ball through. Calvet onside. Galekovic comes out. Calvin finishes it off. Beautiful ball from Costanzo, sits up nicely, nice height. Lobs Galekovic. Adelaide United, we said it.
Carl Viet. Cross to Pantelis. Allowed to run, Lucas Pantelis. Ball inside, Melbourne have got numbers back. But there is the final whistle from Matthew Breeze. The Adelaide fans, that small part down one end of the ground, they are deliriously happy. But most of the crowd here at Olympic Park are stunned. The round 10 opener has finished. The Melbourne victory 0, Adelaide United 1.
By the halfway mark, New Zealand was languishing well behind the pack. Adelaide led the way, with Sydney 3 points adrift. Melbourne and Central Coast made up the top 4. All that soon changed as Melbourne lost again, while the Mariners had a player sent off early in a big loss to Sydney. Incredibly, Sasha Petrovski, Ante Milicic and Damien Mori all scored hat-tricks in this round of matches. Mori did so against his home state as Perth crushed the league leaders by 4 goals to 2.
Miller. That's a good release to pick out Mori, who's taken up a good position. Doesn't have a lot of support, Damien Mori. Sekalovsky was in there quickly, still with the Glory. Selesky, good vision, chance here for Perth. Despotovsky, and at the back post, The Glory take the lead, and who else but Damien Morey, who just loves scoring at this ground. The fairy tale comes through. Morey on the score sheet, and Perth with the early lead.
Well, it was a counter-attack, and we just talked about the offside trap. Morey broke it this time. The ball broke back here. Great little ball to pick out Despotovski. And what about the vision? Outside of the foot, finds Morey on the back post. And would you believe it? Damien Morey scores. The Adelaide boy playing for Perth Glory.
There goes Fernando Reck. Working the 1-2 with Chu. Down he goes, and the referee points to the spot. That is the penalty. No doubt in the mind of Ben Williams. Steve McMahon Jr. it was adjudged to have committed the foul. He goes into the notebook. And what a combination between these two imports, Fernando Reck and Chen Qing Chu.
Yep.
So Carl Veert up against his former teammate in Jason Petkovic with the chance to level the scores. And Veert finds the bottom corner. A cool finish from the veteran. His second goal in consecutive games, and Adelaide United are back on level terms.
A well-taken penalty from Ross Aloisi.
Despotovski, how deep Bobby Despotovski has dropped to retrieve the ball, and he is feeling the effects of that challenge. Despotovski, maybe the lower back is the problem. Morey stretches his legs. Beltrame gets it horribly wrong, and somehow Damien Morey has made him pay. A calamity for the Adelaide United goalkeeper, and Damien Morey stuck out a boot, and it rolled into the goal. The Glory are back in front.
Oh, it's an absolute incredible error. Little ball dinked over the top. Morey had pulled off the shoulder of Valkanis. Beltrame just got his bearings wrong. He's come out looking to pick it up, realised he was outside of the 18-yard box. Did nothing, and Morey's just stabbed at it.
Maybe against the run of play, the Glory in front.
Oh, well, there was a lot of pressure from Adelaide United. Certainly against the run of play, but Damien Morey won't worry about that either. Will Steve McMahon. To be fair to Perth Glory, they had defended the corners reasonably well.
Well, something has gone on after the ball involving Nicky Ward and Adam Van Dommel.
See the replay.
Well, maybe Nicky Ward lashing out with the boot. It's going to Billy Selesky.
Well, I can't work that one out, but...
Is that a case of mistaken identity?
Well, it's been given on the referee's assistant report. Van Dommel looks in a lot of trouble with blood streaming from a cut.
Free kick played short. Selesky felt he was tugged, and there is a penalty. Well, Ben Williams has issued the card. It looks as though it's to Ross Aloisi. And it looks as though the Glory have a penalty. A tug of the shirt perhaps from the Adelaide skipper.
There was a set move. Despotovski pulls off. Little run from Selevsky and the shirt pull from Ross Aloisi.
Despotovski converts. Perth Glory have a 2-goal lead, and there's a lot of unhappy fans around Hindmarsh Stadium. And a few happy Glory ones as well.
Well, the ones that have travelled are certainly happy at the moment. What an incredible game. Perth now 3 goals. Perfect away performance. Bobby Despotovski. Well, if Carl Veert's penalty was good, so was this one. Makes his mind up, keeps his eye on the ball, dispatches it.
Morey with the layoff. Sekalovsky in behind. Morey, the hat-trick from Damien Morey. A simple finish for a player of his quality, and Adelaide are being torn to shreds.
Well, this is quite incredible. Can't believe what I'm witnessing. And beautiful ball, but that channel's been the problem area for Adelaide United last 7 or 8 minutes. Beautiful ball, great finish. Dispatched into the back of the net from Damien Murray. Good vision from Sekalovsky, given far too much room. We hadn't had a hat-trick before this round. We've had 3 in the same one.
Alagic, flicked on by Dodd. Still hasn't been cleared. Chance surely. Christian Reeves, no flag. The goal will count. A lifeline for Adelaide United.
Well, the big man found him on the back post. Found himself unmarked in the back post. It's a long throw. Flicked on by Travis Dodd. Shin King Chu didn't get a hold of it. But Christian Reeves just ghosted in. A similar goal in some ways to Damien Murray's, where he smashed it into the roof of the net. This one goes pretty much the same way. Reese with a header in there.
Not a lot of time remaining. In fact, there is the final whistle. What a victory this is for the Glory. The hat-trick from Damien Murray laying the foundation. Food for thought for John Kosmina. Not what he was hoping for at home, but a result that the Glory have deserved. They worked hard for it. Adelaide United, in the end, not quite good enough on the day. The final score here at a rain-soaked Hyde Marsh Stadium, Adelaide United 2, Perth Glory 4.
Perth was on a roll, beating the New Zealand Knights in round 12. Melbourne couldn't find a way past Newcastle, while David Zdrilic ended his scoring drought as Sydney edged out Queensland. Adelaide went to Gosford, on the verge of another defeat, before staging a late fight back that kept John Kosmina's side level with Sydney at the top of the table.
Petrie thought he was fouled. The whistle does go from Peter O'Leary. Quick play on by Gumprecht. Here's John Hutchinson right through on goal. Must score and does. Adelaide are screaming for a flag. They won't get it. And the Mariners have stolen the lead in the 12th minute.
Most wonderful play from Stuart Petrie. The Adelaide defence fell asleep. Petrie taking the quick free kick. An intelligent run from John Hutchinson and a cool and calm finish. Here's Petrie, hands on the ball. In fact, it's Gumprecht that plays it through. He's not offside, he's level. He's got plenty of time. 3-4 touches and slots it home.
Yes, Stuart Petrie, the man who won the foul. And he no sooner got to his feet, Gumprecht had played on, and Adelaide just hit the stop button for a second and find themselves a goal down to John Hutchinson. And it may come off O'Sullivan, so corner for Adelaide.
Yeah, Wayne O'Sullivan just giving the corner away as Costanzo limps back into position. But Bajaya very busy since coming on. 8 corners to 2, Adelaide United. And
in by Chu. Away by Petrie, working back in his own box. Here's Alagic, who does well. Alagic, Valkanis is up there, and so too is Carl Vett. It's Travis Dodd, I should say. Well, almost out of nothing. Travis Dodd was wandering around, minding his own business, and he's gone bang.
I think the ball in from Alagic, he really slipped as he delivered this. There's the slip. It comes off Valkanis and just sits up beautifully for Travis Dodd. Doesn't ask any questions, and Vukovic has been great, but there was no way he was going to stop that. Just comes off Valkanis, great strike.
So we're back at 1-1, and all of a sudden, the Central Coast now got to go and try and find a winner. Travis Dodd off the bench for Adelaide in the 85th minute. Still plenty of time, 4 minutes of added time by the 4th official. Now the shot comes in. What about that? From Fernando Reck. just a half chance outside the box, and he went bang, and from somewhere Adelaide have the lead.
Oh, it's a wonderful strike from the Brazilian. We talked about Chu and Rek need to get more goals, but bounced up nicely for him, but he still had a lot to do. And could he do it? Yes, he could. Back of the net, Fernando Rek, a little bit of the outside of the boot on it.
And it is a memorable win for Adelaide. The curse of the home teams continues. Central Coast led it for a long way, but Travis Dodd and Fernando Rek came up late to spoil the Central Coast party, and 3 massive points for Adelaide to go back top. I'll wave the scarves all the way back to SA. Fernando Rek got the match winner. It has finished here in round 12. The Central Coast Mariners 1, Adelaide United 2.
Adelaide moved 2 points clear after a harder than expected win over the Knights, coupled with Sydney's draw with Perth. Central Coast handed Melbourne its 4th defeat in 5 matches. The high-flying Jets touched down in Brisbane, needing any kind of positive result to equal Adelaide's record for the A-League's longest unbeaten streak.
Zelic wins the header. Sia. It's broken out for Madoka. Baird, Michael Baird. And some great defending from Newcastle. Michael Baird, the pace carried him into the area, and I think it was Muselik doing the job for Newcastle once again.
Great football indeed, Mike. One-touch football, drop back inside. The ball through was fantastic for Baird. First real one-on-one opportunity, but what a tackle. Just look at this, his first, second touch, out in front, left foot's there. Perfect time of the tackle. And
Gibson. Haven't seen too much of Chad Gibson venturing into the midfield as yet. Moon. Shot from Moon blocked, but he's done well. Delevsky. Baird! Michael Baird with a snapshot. Had to move quickly, and unfortunately the shot goes well and truly over the bar.
Yeah, clever ball from Delevsky. He got that one out wide. Moon couldn't quite control it. Delevsky plays it in. Good, lucky first touch, but he was definitely off balance when he tried to sneak that one under the crossbar. Never really looked like it, but the danger's coming more, I think, when they keep the ball on the deck in the 18-yard box, Queensland Roar.
Well, a couple of promising signs. Danger here for Queensland. Carl, surely it is. Newcastle in front. Nicky Carl involved, and it was Matt Thompson with the finish.
Well, we mentioned earlier that Nick Carl is a dangerous player, and that's why. He just guided in behind, not enough goalkeeping there to create no opportunity, and the opportunity was there, unlike the other end, and they finished it 1-0. Half a chance, and we've got a goal. Beautiful ball, though. Jade North, he knows this field well. Former Queenslander Nick Carl, the initial shot saved, but what a finish. He's rifled that one in the roof of the net. 1-0 to the visitors.
A confident finish from Matt Thompson gives Newcastle the lead. Set up nicely. Close range, no chance for Tom Willis.
Well, I think Jordan Simpson needs to spend more time in his central role and leave Brosk and Delevsky to the wider roles, maybe switching wings. He certainly looked more dangerous and more likely to hit the target from those areas. He'd like to be on the end of those, not delivering them.
Liam ready with the back pass. Oh, he hesitated there, the goalkeeper. And Simpson has indeed forced the error. Can Queensland make something of a very good spell? Simpson looks up, Brosk is in the middle. So too is Mackay. And in the end, it was Jonty Richter with a near post run, who got his foot to the ball and forced the save.
Yeah, he had too much time there, Jordan Simpson. No real venom at all. A toothless shot, really. Ready, no problems.
Muselik. Newcastle draw breath. Richard Money, the Newcastle coach, pacing the sideline now like a nervous parent. Simpson, maybe the last chance for Queensland. And ready. The flag is up, and that will be a corner. And this may be the final throw of the dice. Osvaldo Caro over the ball. 8 orange shirts in the box. Played deep. Won by Bless. The challenge came from Richter. It was an illegal one on Liam Reddy. Well, it was Todd Gover who was in on the goalkeeper, not Jonty Richter, but the end result is a free kick to Newcastle. They'll take their time. Mark Shield, the referee, has looked at the watch. And maybe it's too little, too late, once again, for the Roar. It's 3 points for Newcastle. It's despair for Queensland and their coach, Miron Bleiberg. They did everything but score in the second half, which the Roar dominated. But once again, nothing to show for it. And Newcastle return home with a win which will consolidate 4th place. The goal scorer was Matthew Thompson. Ned Zelic was a rock at the back for the Jets. The final score at Suncorp Stadium, Queensland Roar 0, Newcastle Jets 1.
There was no stopping Richard Money's Newcastle side on a 7-match run that now included 5 wins after Vaughan Coveney scored the only goal to beat Perth in round 14. Central Coast drew with Queensland and Melbourne picked up a much-needed win in Auckland as all eyes turned to the top-of-the-table clash between Adelaide and Sydney at Hindmarsh Stadium.
Yeah, it's interesting that formation, Tallow playing in where Steve Corica usually plays, wide on the left side. Of course, he'll want to tuck in. York's in the middle of midfield with Terry McFlynn, probably a diamond shape. York at the top of the diamond and Carney on the right-hand side.
Long throw from Elegant. Crossbar from Fernando Red. Wow, what a start for Adelaide. The Brazilian brings the house down at Hindmarsh.
Well, what a start. Fernando Reg talked about him before kick-off, getting better and better. 2 goals already, gets his 3rd. Great first touch, not much of a back lift, smashes against the bar, and that's a clever header to finish it off. And Fernando Reg gives Adelaide the perfect start and exactly what Sydney did not want. Buries it.
The 3rd goal of the season for the Brazilian number 10. Adelaide in red are on fire. Sydney exposed by the goal. Fernando Rec a little bit fortunate perhaps the way the ball came back at him. It could have gone anywhere. It came back to Fernando Rec, the header into an empty net. Aloisi. And again, that is pre-planned. And again, they've earned the corner. Helmut Checkley doing the right thing there. Didn't have a lot of choice.
Yeah, good ball into the back post. Pretty well defended as well from Sydney.
Let's see if Chen King Chu can produce a better corner this time. This time he goes deep. Bolton has spilled it. Surely it must go in. The American eventually. The dream continues for the Reds. 2 goals now with 13 minutes gone. And was it Carl Baird who stabbed it home? He's wearing the biggest smile, and there's pandemonium around the ground.
Well, Clint Bolton doesn't deal with it. Quite a regulation catch. A lot of bodies in front of him, but he's got to make it his own. Then it was a real scramble. They just couldn't clear it. He talked about set pieces. Well, it's another goal from a set piece, and now Sydney FC find themselves 2 goals down, a mountain to climb, and I'm sure there'll be minds
Catching practice for Clint Bolton. Out to the edge of his penalty area. York, good first touch. Second's even better. And he's opened it up now. Miura, Kazu Miura! There it is! The first goal in the A-League for the Japanese legend, Kazuyoshi Miura. Delight on the bench. And Sydney are back in the ball game.
That was a good finish, wasn't it? Miura. What a moment. And a few Japanese flags went up around Highmarsh. There wasn't many. That's a good finish from an experienced player. Had enough pace, took him slightly away under pressure from Constanzo, but low and across the keeper. He'll score every time. Great finish from Kazu.
He's played and scored all around the world, the 38-year-old, and now he's added Australia to the list. Lovely skills from David Carney. Petrovski, chance here for Kazu, he's past the keeper, and Kazu doubles his tally. Sydney are level. Sheer delight from the Japanese legend, Kazuyoshi Miura.
Well, incredible. It's been a little bit of a bystander early in the second half. Looked actually like he might have been tiring. It's a lovely little ball from Petrovski. Miura shows his experience, goes around the keeper. Just had enough on it, because once he went wide, they were coming back to this goal line. He had to get enough power on that, because if he didn't, they would have kicked it off the line. Valkanis was breaking his neck there. He's center of screen. Kazu. Valkanis can't get there. What an input from the Japanese star.
2 goals from Kazuyoshi Miura. Danger signs for Adelaide. They lost in a heartbreak at Aussie Stadium. They won't want history to repeat itself. A good hard look at the ball from Dwight York. He fancies it. York goes straight into the wall. Carney, likewise. Chekali blazes it towards the goal, Alvin Chekali.
Well, he got a great connection, didn't he? Had 3 goes at it. Dwight York from the free kick. Comes off the wall. David Carney, not his favourite foot. Look at this from Chekali. That's a rocket, and it's not far away.
Sydney FC starting to play with real belief. They feel that they may be able to snatch this one. The momentum is with them, having conceded the last, or scored, I should say, the last goal of the game. Reck, early shot. Fernando Reck has threaded the eye of the needle. If that's a winner, it's a worthy goal. It's a worthy winner. Adelaide are back in front.
Well, it was a good strike, there's no doubt. Well positioned, he picks up the ball, no pressure on the ball. Gets it through. It's come a long way. I think Clint Bolton might be disappointed he didn't get that. Bit of swerve on it as well. It's a good strike. Low and hard.
Well, that is an absolutely superb finish from Fernando Reck. The last throw of the dice. Dwight York with the corner. Pumps it towards the back post. And what a take from Robbie Bayich under pressure.
Mark Rudin felt kindly for him. Of course, it didn't hit the post.
And there is the final whistle. It's been an epic here at Hyundai Stadium. In the end, Fernando Reck, the Brazilian, produced a special piece of magic. And Adelaide United maintain top position in the Hyundai A-League. Sydney go back to the chasing pack. A match which has lived up to its billing in every way. Has delivered everything you could want here at Hyundai Stadium. 2 goals from Reck has made the difference. The final score, Adelaide United 3, Sydney FC 2.
In round 15, Sydney kept up the pressure with a 2-1 victory over Melbourne. Top 4 fringe dwellers, Perth, Central Coast and most notably Queensland, all drew, with the Roar dropping valuable points against New Zealand. The big match of the round saw Newcastle entertain Adelaide in horror conditions as the visitors came from behind to snatch a record-equalling 4th consecutive win.
Trying to bait Coburn, he didn't get it right, and in the end, gives up the free kick. So an untidy start to the match for Richie Alagich.
Yeah, just trying to protect the ball. Coburn gets around him, he's very persistent and commits the foul in a dangerous position. Adelaide have to defend.
Another chance from the dead ball for the Jets. Ball whipped in. Away it goes. Here's Johnson. The whistle's gone. It won't count. And Johnson knows it. And with the top 2 in the Hyundai A-League getting 2 bites of the cherry, this could be a significant round as the sweeping rain drives across Energy Australia Stadium. There's moths. We've had thunderclaps, all sorts of weather as the flag goes up and the spectators charge for safety.
So they should.
Now Adelaide. And Simon Priestad has found a penalty.
Well, it's a great run from Fernando Reck, but really it wasn't dealt with by the Newcastle defence. Pretty sure it was Alan Picken. It seemed just more of a clumsy challenge rather than anything, but referee pointed to the spot directly.
Carl Veart for Adelaide against Liam Reddy. Late in the first half. It's Veart, and it's 1.
A great penalty from Carl Veart. The boos ringing around the stadium, but Carl Veart smashes it home. Here we see pretty much a straight run onto it. And smashes it into the net, but I think there's some dramas.
So Veart gets another crack against Reddy. And this time he saves it! Well, what a story here. Reddy is charging his players up.
Oh, that's quite incredible. Well, we've had it all here. Power surges, thunderstorms. And now we've got a retaken penalty. Nothing wrong with Carl Veart's first penalty. This one's a poor penalty. Carl would admit that.
So action at both ends. And just getting back to Milicic, I'm sure going through his mind was Valkanis may have been the last man, and Zelic could be a bit short, but out in time was Reddy. Milicic surely would have been thinking red, but at the moment Nicky Carl has the ball. Here's Milicic. Thompson can turn. Dinks it across, surely for Newcastle! Richie Johnson arrives and the Jets have the lead.
Well, it's wonderful play from Newcastle. They've been threatening, haven't they, in spite of that half volley from Travis Dodd. Another sweeping move, Nicky Carl involved, breaking down the left-hand side. Here he is. Nice technique, flicks it inside. Ante Milicic gets his head up. No offside, he's level. Matthew Thompson has the presence of mind to pick out Richie Johnson, who, easiest of headers. Beautiful play from Matthew Thompson. And Richie Johnson buries it. And Adelaide United would say, well, disallowed penalty. At the moment, justice.
Yes, they'll be thinking that way. All of a sudden, you can just see the pattern switch a little bit here as Costanzo on the ball for Adelaide. Off for Alagich, first time ball in, it's difficult. Through Zelic, off for Lewis, Brain! Would you believe it? Brain has been on the park for a matter of minutes, and from somewhere, Adelaide again have dragged themselves in front.
Well, you could sense it, couldn't you? The equaliser just before this one. Newcastle just don't deal with it. The ball skidding across, letting it go past. Here it comes. It's a nothing ball in, really. Beats one. Ned Zelic lets it go past him. Lovely little pass there from Carl Vert. Louis Brain, what an impact.
Corbo takes it quickly. This time Rees, back for Corbo. But they have run out of time, the Jets. The crowd will be stunned. Newcastle had the lead, but Adelaide have stormed back in tough conditions. And John Cosmina's team has roared to an 8-point lead at the top of the Hyundai A-League ladder. Final score here at Energy Australia Stadium. The Newcastle Jets 1, Adelaide United 2.
Perth, captained by Matt Horsley in his last National League appearance, showed similar determination after trailing 2-0 at home to Central Coast.
Which side uses the flanks the best?
Ashida Kovacevic. Now here's a chance now. It's Hutchinson for the Mariners. And they are one up. All too easy for the Central Coast side.
Well, he got 3 and 3, didn't he? Didn't get one last week, John Hutchinson. He certainly made a goal against Queensland Roar, but this is not one they'd want to see again, Perth Glory. Hesitating Matty Horsley, but well finished from John Hutchinson. He's left-footed. Petrie, good work. Goes in. First time strike and buries it.
Like a thief in the night, Petrie just took it straight off Horsley. And looking straight on goal, John Hutchinson has collected goals recently. So a blow for the Glory. In just the 8th minute, they try and respond. Now Beecham in front of Murray. Pace of the game picking up. Central Coast grabbing that early goal now. Here's Clark in front of Murray. He does it nicely, Andrew Clark. Gumprecht. They back off and Hutchinson will get there first for Petrie. And galloping away is O'Sullivan. Nice ball in O'Sullivan. Horsley misses Hutchinson. Second chance and the Mariners now have it by 2. This time Stewie Petrie.
Well, it's another mistake from Perth Glory. Right up on the halfway line, they give possession away, and Matty Horsley sliding in there to get a great connection. Hutchinson should have got his second. Petrie certainly didn't get a hold of it well, but just enough to guide it into the net. There we see Horsley. The chance to Hutchinson falls nicely to Petrie, who buries it. What a start from Central Coast. Decent ball in, wasn't it, from Sullivan? Good first save. But easy one for Petrie.
Now Ashida. See the player to give the Glory some spark. Nick Ward's a good turn. He's in space. Rolls it in. And he rolls it into the net. Nicky Ward almost looked like time stood still for a second. And the Glory finally get on the score sheet.
Well, they're back into the game. Central Coast can't believe it. But he took a chance. Nice little turn. It opens up. Nobody closes him down quick enough. That's a good strike. And in these conditions, with the rain falling, or the rain that has fell, it's skidded across the surface. Vukovic not offering a dive. There it goes. Bends into that far post. And the Glory have a lifeline. I'm pretty sure if Vukovic dives there, he'll get a hand to that. So he'll probably be disappointed with that. And you have to give credit. Perth Glory coming out in the second half and putting more pressure on Central Coast. And Central Coast were excellent in that first half. And as good a away performance as I've seen this season. Thoroughly deserved their 2-goal lead. But Perth have come out with a new sense of purpose in the second half.
Look at the speed of Ashida getting through. Can he finish it, Ashida? He can! What about that for an opportunist goal?
Well, we talked about mistakes for the Central Coast.
Perth Glory's 2 opening goals. Well, this one's got to go down to a defensive error between Vukovic and Andrew Clark. It's a ball over the top. Ashita chases the lost cause. Clark's waiting for Vukovic to come and get it. Ashita takes the gamble, and it pays off for him. And the substitute has certainly had an impact in this match and gets himself on the score sheet. It's just persistence from Ashita. He makes his own luck.
Not long married, Hiroyuki Ashita. Is he having a second honeymoon back here at Members Equity? In the final minute, Petrie. Wilkinson. Back goes Hanwell. Kwasnik's got toe. Stewie Petrie. Hutchinson overlaps. Still Petrie. Switches the play right across to O'Sullivan. First time ball in for Kwasnik. Back it goes. Spencer! Saved by Petkovic. And the ball out is terrible from the Glory keeper. It probably wasn't time anyway. Mark Shield brings a hold to an action-packed second half. The Central Coast dominated the first, but Perth dragged themselves back into the battle. Ashita, what an impact he made off the bench. And the Shed, they're pretty happy. What a great battle in the rain it's been. Final score here at Members Equity, Perth Glory 2, the Central Coast Mariners 2.
The draw with Central Coast also signalled the end of Steve McMahon's brief tenure as coach. He quit the club, with Perth sitting fourth on the table. Adelaide looked very comfortable on top before a 3-week mid-season break to accommodate Sydney FC's trip to Japan for the FIFA World Club Championships. When the competition resumed in late December, New Zealand pulled off a major shock, holding Sydney to a 2-2 draw. Melbourne against Perth ended all square, the Mariners thumped Newcastle, and Adelaide picked up where it left off against Queensland.
Beard. Van Dommel. Floats it in, away easily enough for the Raw. Now Seau hooks it first time down the park. Back by Costanzo. Now Reck. Challenged by Gibson. And cleaning up Dalevsky. Good jump by Hanaldo. Brosk will put the foot down. Alex Brosk! What a cool finish from the number 19. But the telling header came from the Brazilian Reinaldo.
Well, what a wonderful finish as well, and the pace of Alex Brosk. You can see why Sydney FC are desperate to sign him. It's a wonderful finish. I actually thought he might have taken it too early, but it was a flick on from Reinaldo. It's just a long ball out from Tom Willis. There's the flick on as Costanzo goes up. They get caught square, but Brosk was away. His pace takes him. He takes it early, and that's a wonderful finish. And a great start here from Queensland Raw.
Cool finish from Alex Brosk. Sloppy period here for the home side. Just not the surety in their passing that we've seen for much of the season. This time Reck over the top now for Pentelis, who rolls it in. Can Chu get there? And he's gone to the spot, Matthew Breeze. Chu is still on the ground. And a yellow card to boot for Tommy Willis, who'll now have to go back and try and save a penalty.
Well, Matthew Breeze was a long way away. I'm not so sure if this was a penalty. It's good play from Pantelis. Slight deflection. I don't think there's much contact there, and we'll see it better here. Certainly gets the ball. Ball's going away from goal.
Some would give it, some wouldn't.
Well, he's given it. No perfect opportunity, but they were caught out square. Queensland Raw. Really shouldn't happen when you're playing with a sweeper. Bit of skill from Fernando Reck. Set it up. We know the dramas Calvet's had at times with penalties.
Yes, the match before the Christmas break, he had to score from the spot, was made to retake it. Liam Reddy saved it, so Veert can put that to the back of his mind. They clear away the streamers from around Tom Willis's goal. Matthew Breeze is having all sorts of trouble here trying to get everyone outside the box. It's Carl Veert for Adelaide, and saved by Willis, second chance, and Veert makes it count.
Well, he gets lucky, Carl Veert. Tom Willis devastated. It was a good save down to his right-hand side, but unfortunately for him, really get enough on it to take it away, and Carl Veert following him. Sly grin there. Hits it with enough pace. It's not a great penalty. Guesses the right way. Good save. Even the second one, he didn't really connect well with Carl Veert, but it counts. And Adelaide are back. It's a good save, low down to his right-hand side.
Yeah, it's a big break for Adelaide, but they're back at 1-1. Queensland will feel a little injustice. Sixth goal of the season for Carl Veert. He's been a major contributor. One of the key reasons that Adelaide sit clear top.
Certainly is having a wonderful season. But certainly that goal coming slightly against the run, well, not slightly against the run of play, definitely against the run of play, but Queensland were caught out. Shin Keng Chu made the most of a challenge where the ball appeared to be going well away from the goal.
Tough challenge by Veert has left Madoka on the ground. Play goes on now. Veert across for Shen King Chu. He tries to tip the keeper and does it beautifully. Well, he's hardly been in the game, Chu, and all of a sudden he says to Tom Willis, pick the bones out of that.
That's a wonderful goal. You will not see a better goal in the Hyundai A-League this season. Carl Veert plays it out to him. He's got a runner, Travis Dodd, on his right-hand side. He's looking to cross it. He sees Tom Willis off his line. And that's a beautiful finish. Great awareness. His head's come up. Great technique. They're in a good position there, Queensland. It was rather wasteful from Reinaldo.
Now the ball on Pentelis's cut through off for Shen King Chu. Chu can roll it across for Fernando Reck, and there is number 3.
Well, what an impact he's having, Shen King Chu. And they've fallen apart, Queensland. Dare I say it, I know it's a long way away, but the flicks and tricks from Ronaldo where they lose the ball, and this is what happens at the other end. Great awareness. The far post run from Fernando Reck. And this is, well, not quite possibly, but it is the best partnership at the moment in the Hyundai A-League. Shen King Chu and Fernando Reck. Talk about a crazy 10-minute spell. Maybe not even that. 3 goals.
Yes, it is some partnership, one that's taken a while to get going, of course. The late arrival of Fernando Reck. Now the ball long. Chu's giving chase, but out comes Willis. Apart from the football side of it, Robbie, they just look as though they're psychologically blown away by that goal rush from Adelaide in the first half.
Yeah, it certainly affected them. The penalty was given. They were certainly the team on top.
They're under the pump here. Here's that Richie Alagich. He floats it in towards Fernando Reck. And that is too easy as Adelaide chalk up number 4.
Well, that's a great run. He's made up a lot of ground, Fernando Reck. The ball broke there. You see him in the middle of the screen, breaking, and then he breaks around the nib to the far post. Shen King Chu going near post, and Xiao was left with the option of following one or the other. But Richie Allen gets a beautiful cross to the back post. Fernando Reck says, thank you very much, and buries it.
A lot of said Bujaya, Northern Territory born, actually born in Broken Hill. But here goes Viet.
That was close. Broken Hill.
Well, I knew it was
Northern
out there
Territory.
somewhere, but Broken Hill's favourite son. Almost into the Northern Territory. It's end-to-end stuff at the moment. They may get a chance here. Hinaldo in for Brosk. Back for Baird. He tries his luck, Michael Baird, and that's a well-taken goal.
It's a great finish. And another goal in this amazing Hyundai A-League 16th round. Goals galore. This one now, they pull it back to 4-2. Wonderful finish. Little interchange of play. Alex Brosk just lays it back. Thought the chance might have been gone there, but he just bends it around.
For the final minute on a darkening Hindmarsh. Here's Baird. Scorer of Queensland's second, Caro. Looking for the run of Baird. They might still get it, Queensland. Here's Brosk. On his bad foot, he blazes over. Well, he's been a good introduction, Michael Baird, but Brosk, such a wonderful start to the game, has just been frustrated probably since the last two-thirds of the match, really. There is the final whistle, I should say, from Matthew Breeze. Another great story from Adelaide. They career away at the top. Had to do it from behind, but they're used to that. And more questions for Mirren Bleiberg. The red machine of Adelaide United celebrate 3 more big points. 5 wins on the bounce. It's finished here at Hindmarsh. Adelaide United 4, Queensland Roar 2. On New Year's Eve, the heat is on in the race for the top 4 as the Central Coast Mariners clash with fierce neighbour, the Newcastle Jets, in round 16. Let's have a look at the 2 lineups, starting with the Mariners under Laurie McKenna, and he welcomes back defender Dean Heffernan from a 1-game ban. Matthew Osmond makes way. He is not in the squad, but the big news for the Mariners, Paul O'Grady back from a long injury layoff, and so too Tom Pondoliak, who's been out for 2 months with a broken wrist. The Newcastle Jets under Richard Money have lost Ante Milicic up front. Labino Haliti is promoted to start alongside Vaughan Coveney. Steve Eagleton joins the squad on the bench alongside Wheelhouse Bridge and the reserve keeper Andy Pedersen. The referee for this one is Mark Shield. And away we go, round 16. As I mentioned, Newcastle sit a clear 3rd. The Mariners, it's all tight, just outside the 4. They come in 5th place. Early touch there for Petrie, but here's Jade North. Away goes Gumprek. Can he keep it in? The flag's up. Talk about playing smart, Robbie Slater. Well, they've headed straight for the shade. And Robbie, the point Richard Money has made about the kickoff, it was originally scheduled for 8 p.m. Eastern time, but back to 6 p.m. to, I guess, fit in with New Year's Eve celebration.
Well, I was just about to say, Neil, there's no truth in the rumour that it was actually changed for one of your New Year's Eve parties.
Haven't been invited to one, Robbie. Too busy wrapped up in the football as Damien Brown brings it away for the Mariners. Feeds it off looking for Petrie.
No, and I guess it was a difficult one. No one could see into the future, and the weather conditions are very, very warm. It would have been better to be kicking off a little bit later, but the time was set. And 6 o'clock it stays, but you'll expect into the second half the conditions will get a lot better for the players.
Yes, it is expected that breeze you mentioned will pick up as the evening unwinds. Now Andrew Clark. Zelic Zelic got his head to it, but chipping in was Hutchinson. Now Gumprecht, who can fire a goal, Andre Gumprecht, and he buries it. What a start for the Mariners.
Well, it's a wonderful finish. Great strike from Gumprecht. Put his head down and smashed this one in. Ball was never cleared by Newcastle. You see the two white shirts going for the same ball. He takes one touch, gets it out of his feet, and smacks it home. Great finish. There's the touch, gets a look up. That's a great strike from Gumprecht. What a start for the Central Coast Mariners.
Good header from Zelic, fell for Coveney. They bit the deck. Play goes on. And it's well played, Zelic, who recovered to check the run of Hutchinson. Now sends it down, but Beecham is there for the Coast, as he's been all first half. And the whistle goes against Alan Picken, who tried a little Kazali on John Hutchinson.
He goes up, Hutchinson stands his ground. We've seen them given the other way for backing into a player. And Hutchinson picks up the foul. And free kick in a dangerous place, and Newcastle have to defend this better than one from a similar position where Wayne O'Sullivan nearly scored from.
Again, it's Damien Brown. This time goes near post. It'll go all the way. Well, Dean Heffernan's got his arm up. Did he get a touch? I don't think so. It might have cleared everyone, but it's ended up in the back of the net.
And that's not good defending from Newcastle. I think you'll find that that's gone straight into the net. So Damien Brown gets on the score sheet. There it goes right across. They don't deal with it, the Newcastle defence, and ends up nestled at the back of the net.
Here's Corbo. Again, the pass doesn't find its mark. Drops the shoulder on Spencer. He tries to give one back and wins the free kick, the home captain. And a red card for Matteo Corbo from Mark Shield.
And off Corbo goes. Newcastle's afternoon gets worse. Corbo can't believe it, it's for an elbow.
And it's on the sideline. The two coaches on the sideline are having words. So Matteo Corbo gets his second red of the season. Now, who wants it? Wheelhouse is in there. Eventually comes to Nick Carl. He spotted Haliti. Shot was blocked. They might get a second chance. Eventually the young forward gets hold of it, comes back inside. Thompson, in fact, wasn't Haliti, it was Thompson, but he gave it straight away to O'Sullivan. Now Hutchinson, allowed to go a long way. John Hutchinson, who tries the shot! And that'll do for the Mariners, number 3. And they are tearing Newcastle apart.
Well, they gave the ball away. It was Matthew Thompson with a cross-field pass cut out. John Hutchinson continues his rich vein of form. He's had few occasions he's been threatening, but it's all about the movement. Wayne O'Sullivan making the overlap. Stuart Petrie moving out the wide left-hand side, and it opened it up. Hutchinson taking on Picken, steps onto his left foot, beats Reddy at the near post, hopelessly exposed. But it was a good finish. He's had another good afternoon, John Hutchinson. And Tommy Pontelliak sitting on the bench. He's got his work cut out to get his spot back. Yeah, it's the way Central Coast have played. They've been full of purpose. They've pushed up onto the fullbacks. They've not allowed Newcastle to play out as they normally like.
Here's Pontelliak. Surely they get a fourth, and that is oh so easy for Johnny Hutchinson.
Well, Tommy Pontelliak, instant impact. His cross was a little bit bobbly. I think he really got a sweet connection onto it, but John Hutchinson, unlike the first chance he had just before, which went over the top, this time he opens himself out and uses his left foot. Bobbles a bit, doesn't go with the right foot this time, Hutchinson. He buries it with the left. Good little ball from Gutprecht. Good speed, good pace from Tommy Pondliak, and it's now a rout.
Yes, talk about a feel-good goal from the home fans. Pondliak not long back into the action after a long injury break, and in for Hutchinson, who gets goal number 6. Yes, Newcastle 24 points, but the Central Coast will be on 23, along with Perth, but ahead of the Glory on goal difference. Now Wheelhouse rolls it in for Eagleton, who's right through the ball across. And there is some reward for Vaughan Coveney, who's banged on the door all day, and he has his goal.
Well, it's a great goal. Of course, it's come too late. And we're just talking about goal difference, so it's important. It's a great run from Eagleton, played in nicely by Wheelhouse. Good ball. That's a striker's delight. Straight on his head, a metre or so out, and he buries it. And Vaughan Coveney, you're right, Neil. I think he's just about deserved that for his performance today in a side that's been well beaten.
Heffernan charging down the left. Dean Heffernan. Well, who wants a 5th goal there? Sitting there now, Pondliak swings it in from the right. Ross was short. Brown.
Yeah, just snapped at it, Damien Brown. He's had a good game as well. Haven't had a bad player, Central Coast. He's worked very hard down that left-hand side. This ball here, Hutchinson doesn't gamble. The cross from Pondliak wasn't a good one. The header out by Jade North wasn't good either. And there he just doesn't get over it enough.
Here's Carl. And that is giving the ball away, but...
that's a tied pass from Mickey Carl.
3 games in round 16. 13 goals we've seen already as Mark Shield brings a hold to this one, and the crowd goes up. Laurie McKenna will be overjoyed. Not so Richard Money, who's will go back to the drawing board with his Newcastle Jets. Vaughan Coveney got the consolation for Newcastle late, long after Mateo Corbo had been sent off. A great match from Johnny Hutchinson. He got a double. Worked it beautifully, they did, the Mariners. What a result for them on the last day of the year. It's finished here in Gosford. The Central Coast Mariners 4, Newcastle Jets 1.
For Sydney, Gierlik Barsky also makes 2 changes, with Ufak Talai coming in for Terry McFlynn, and with Kazuura Miura hanging up his boots, David Drillich gets his 7th start of the season. So Sydney in the white tops and the blue trim, playing from left to right. The star-studded glitterati of the A-League. And Mark, important for the Knights. They've had a 3-week break and they have to start well here, especially not go behind early.
Well, that's what John Edson mentioned once again in the tunnel. Just telling his lads just be confident. There's no panic to go out there and try and score goals too early, but on the same hand, as a nasty challenge goes in.
Here's Jacob Timpano through the back of Sean Devine. Gives the Knights an early free kick. Jeremy Christie looking for the height of Chris Bright at the back post. Jeremy Brockie with his arm up. Deep in the box. Christie lofts it in to near post. Flicked on! And it's an early goal for the Knights! Sean Devine gets the flick on. And he puts the Knights 1-0 up. Just what the doctor ordered for John Edshead after the break.
Well, what a delivery from Christie. He just drives that ball in. And Sean Devine, just a wonderful glancing header. Beautifully whipped in. Gets his body beautifully positioned.
Again, patient build-up from Sydney into Carney. And that'll be a free kick. Edge of the box. Hickey on Petrovski.
Yeah, that's a great run. He just played the ball across the path of Noah Hickey. Noah's got great pace.
It's been a tough few weeks for them. And this will be a much needed boost. Dwight York. Carney wiggles past one. Corica over the top. Drillich handball, and that's a penalty. Frank Van Ice touched inside by David Drillich, and Frank Van Ice hits him on the arm. Referee has no hesitation pointing to the spot.
Well, the patient build-up and just the dainty chip over the top.
York puts it in, calm as you like. Dwight York picks up his 6th goal of the season and Sydney's 2nd of the night.
Just the body language tells it all. The experience. Don't watch the eyes, he says, just watch the ball. Beautiful taken penalty.
Into the last 5 minutes, Chris Bright making a nuisance of himself again as well. Emblin deep to Brocky. Brocky with a chance to volley! Jeremy Brocky, 2-all. Terrific strike, terrific cross from Emblin. No chance for that man, Clint Bolton.
Great run, this young man, Chris Bright. He holds the ball up, a floating ball to the far post, and that is a fantastic finish by Jeremy Brocky. The ball's delivered deep, unmarked at the far post, kept his head down, knee over the ball.
Sydney come again. Really putting themselves under pressure, the Sydney team. Touched on, here's a chance. Petrovski! Golden opportunity to pick up the 3 points, and Petrovski blazes over. Baisley signalling that they need to make a substitution. Someone's down in the 6-yard box. Johnny Tambouris is cramped up. So's Amaya. Dropping like flies. Jeremy Brocky suffering as well. So John Ed said, take your pick out of one of those 3. But this was a golden opportunity. The ball touched on. Keeper's out of his goal. All he has to do is keep it down. Sasho Petrovski. And leans back on it. Asking a lot of Neil Emblin. And he delivers, picks it up in the corner. Great skills from the big man, battling away. But equally good skills to get the ball out. Dwight York, haven't seen much of him in the second spell. And that's it. The Knights pick up their first point at home, much to the delight of the big crowd here, who've stayed till the end. Thoroughly entertaining match. And the Knights have picked up the mantle of spoilers for the competition, and they've done so this evening against Sydney. They've cost the Sydney Siders 2 points. So here at North Harbour Stadium, it's Sydney 2, the Knights 2.
In round 17, Queensland recorded its first win in 6 matches in a damaging blow to Perth's playoff aspirations. Central Coast moved up into 3rd, with Newcastle dropping to 4th after earning a point in Sydney. Meantime, Adelaide was looking to complete a 3-match clean sweep against Melbourne.
Yeah, no, definitely, Mike. Possession turned over again, but it's the counter-attack football from Adelaide that I think they've negotiated well so far in defence, the Melbourne Victory. And as Piakowski gives that ball away, I have to say, he reminds me a little bit of the style of Vince Grella, another former Victorian. Just the way he passes the ball, the way he's a little bit taller, obviously, playing in a non-midfield role, but he's going to grow in confidence and stature, and I like the way he's balanced, and I like the way he's very aggressive and tries to get before his striker.
Certainly a star for the Victory last week against Perth Glory, Daniel Piakowski. Here goes Dodd, dispossessed by Story, breaks the Viet, threads it through. Dodd has continued to run against the run of play, you have to say, but Adelaide, through Travis Dodd, draw first blood. Football can be a cruel game at times. That's what's going through the mind of Melbourne Victory at the moment.
Well, it's also a game of chances, and that's their first real opportunity in the match, and there's the difference. Good conversion. Some will say the keeper could have done a little bit better, but the ball through, fantastic from Viet. One-on-one situation, first chance, first goal. Adelaide, the home team, and the crowd love it.
Goal number 3 of the season for Travis Dodd. Perfect timing, celebrates a birthday tomorrow. His 26th birthday. And he's given Adelaide the lead here at Hindmarsh. Certainly against the run of play, and a massive task now in front of Melbourne, who have really struggled against Adelaide United right from the off. They played a friendly in Bendigo before the season. They played in the Club World Championship qualifiers. They played in the pre-season cup. They've played in the league 5 times and have yet to get a win, have yet to score a goal. Adelaide definitely have the wood over the Victorians, and Travis Dodd has added to their misery with a tidy finish in a one-on-one against the keeper. Sarkis clipped over the top. Thompson is onside. Shaped for the shot, comes inside, and Archie Thompson has put it wide. Did all the hard work in the lead-up. Archie Thompson let himself down with the finish. He knows it.
Beautiful skills, lovely quick feet there through the middle. Good vision from Sarkis to see that little chip was on. Did everything right except hit the target. Lovely little finish. Look at the ball from Sarkis. Little 9-9 out of the golf bag, if you like. Good little dummy, left Costanzo in his wake. Couldn't get the ball on target, and that's been the difference so far.
And to be fair, Adelaide are playing with a bit of fire at the moment. They're allowing Melbourne to have plenty of the ball. That was the chance, Danny Allsop. That was the chance.
Lovely delivery, good little 1-2, and that's a quality ball from the defender. Piakowski, good delivery. Adelaide know that they weren't tight enough. The smaller player, Alagic, was on the wrong player. The delivery's quality to the far post, and Allsop knows he should at least get that one on target, and he hasn't.
Almost 5 minutes now added on by the referee. And it's 6 wins in a row for Adelaide United, the 6th game in a row that Melbourne Victory have failed to score against them. The Reds extend their lead in the top of the Hyundai A-League. Surely now the minor premiership within their grasp. For Melbourne Victory, it may be a bridge too far now in terms of their top 4 ambitions. An absorbing tussle between 2 arch rivals, settled by a first-half goal from Travis Dodd. The full-time score here at Hindmarsh Stadium: Adelaide United 1, Melbourne Victory 0.
The Mariners, still the only team to win in Sydney, returned to Aussie Stadium in search of a prestigious double.
Corica and Carney, the wide players in this Sydney FC midfield. Checkerley. Run came from McFlynn. Down he goes. There's been a challenge, and that is a penalty. That is a penalty. Sydney FC with the early platform. And no hesitation whatsoever from the referee.
Well, I've got to say, I'm not as confident as the referee. I think the player's basically looking for the ball. Certainly ran into him. I've seen penalties given for less. But how important could it be? The pressure's really on. Bit of a nudge, no doubt about it. McFlynn seemed to be as excited as anyone, and the fans were.
And Dwight York steps up to the spot. Oh, a whistle from the referee. Just wanted to wait. Test of nerves for Dwight York. Sydney FC looking for the ideal start. Such an important game for the home team. And saved by Vukovic. The goalkeeper has stood tall for Central Coast. Dwight York has missed the penalty. Well, he scored twice from the spot this season, couldn't do it on the third occasion. And who would have thought?
Look, he's probably just a little bit too cool. It wasn't in the corner.
Here he is again. Gets the run, onside, in space is Gumprecht, the cutback, Pondolyak, and almost goes in, but in the end, Sydney had the numbers. Tommy Pondolyak close perhaps to his first goal of the season. Desperate defending from Sydney FC.
Beautiful ball. That was the one that received from Gumprecht. Clever layback. Cuts that well for Tom Pondolyak. He didn't get hold of that one early, but jinked past the defender like he wasn't there. You can see Hutchison hands on the head at the end, but beautiful move. And only the desperate lunge there kept it at 0-0.
Off the line by Mark Milligan. The Mariners have a corner. Headed away by York. Wilkinson. Good ball in for O'Sullivan. And after having to weather a bit of a storm with a succession of corners against them, the Mariners have now won 2 on the trot, and they're applying the pressure on the goal of Clint Bolton.
And once again, it's from the quick set piece. They've turned it around. Sydney looking very dangerous from the quick set pieces. And now it's Central Coast saying we can do that even better.
Here it comes. Carney was there. So too on the edge of the box was Alex Wilkinson. But Carney applied just enough pressure on the ball. Andre Gumprecht admonishing himself for failing to convert. Just didn't get enough power on the shot. And the mistake's been made by Fife. Away goes Pondolyak. Still Pondolyak. Still Tommy Pondolyak. He squeezed it through. Tommy Pondolyak, his first goal of the season, and what a time to score it.
Well, I spoke about Tom Pondolyak's possible brilliance, and that is as good a sign as you'll ever see of the man's skill. Clint Bolton was the punishment person because of the skill of the man. For me, he's just grown in stature as the minutes have progressed in this match. Good opportunity to strike it then. He jinks, he thinks about it, he dodges, comes in one way, flicks it back out the right and hits it against one of the best keepers, if not the best in the Hyundai A-League. Tommy Pondolyak, take your hat off. What talent this boy's got. Great pace, good vision, and the ability to just dodge and weave, and he eludes 2 very good defenders and tucks that one into the corner of the net. No chance for Sydney FC, and no chance for the outstretched arms of Clint Bolton. What a finish.
He's had to do it all on his own, hasn't he, Tom Pondolyak? One against about 3 Sydney FC defenders. We saw Archie Thompson with a similar goal against Sydney earlier in the season. That's in the category. That is a top-class finish from Tommy Pondolyak, and that has livened things up once again here at Aussie Stadium. Well, a big test of character now for the home team.
Sorry, Mike, there's your goal of the week and candidate for goal of the season. Gumprecht could have provided it a moment or 2 earlier. Now this will test the mettle of the home side, and the fans will need to be behind them.
Well, they tried to take the quick free kick, Sydney, and Ben Williams having none of it. Corica asking the question. It's going to be retaken. And the home fans doing their best to lift this Sydney FC side. The decibels have just lifted a couple of notches. Sydney FC trailing at home to Central Coast Mariners. In it comes from Corica. York was there, and Fife as well, who got the last touch. Well, you can hear the Cove in full voice now. Credit to those fans. They're doing their best to liven up their team. That ball looked to have crossed the sideline. The assistant referee was well placed. Here's Carney, and it's a goal. The equaliser, David Carney. Some questions, I would imagine, asked by that Central Coast defence, but take nothing, absolutely nothing away from the quality of that finish by David Carney.
And that's how you answer your critics. You hit the back of the net and you get the fans erupting, and that's exactly what's happened. I believe it's possibly just over the line. Difficult to say, play on, and professionals will. Certainly didn't seem to trouble Central Coast. Look at Carney. Jinks inside, not outside, on the left foot, drills that one. Look at the way he stands up his defender for the first time in the match. You cannot stop those. Well watched by Vukovic, because there's too much power in that one. The left foot drills it. 1-1, what a match.
David Carney threads the eye of a needle, and Sydney FC are back on level terms. That's a good crowd in for this match, 15,977. We're heading into the final 10 minutes here at Aussie Stadium. It's one apiece between Sydney FC and the Mariners. No let-up from what has been a fiercely contested match. Petrovski, dangerous ball in, and well done there by Andrew Clark. Difficult bounce. He would have had heart in his mouth.
Absolutely, that's a defender's nightmare. Slippery surface and bouncing just in front of you in the box.
Carney with the corner. Vukovic has come and stayed in the end. It hasn't been cleared. And again, the Mariners put their bodies on the line.
Oh, that's brilliant. Good delivery. A difficult header, and he did well to keep that one on target. But look at the desperation again, as you said. Swinging arm coming in from Checkerley, but certainly brave as they were again, the Mariners.
Damien Brown it was, blocking the shot. Another corner for Sydney FC. Driven in by York. Milligan onto the loose ball. It was on target from Mark Milligan. Needed the save from Vukovic.
Lovely strike from Milligan. Difficult situation, attacking the ball with a lot of pace. Hits it so well, and he's unsighted as well. David Zrilic in front of Vukovic makes it an even better save, and that's why he's got the #1 spot.
York, Carney. Good turn from David Carney. Can he keep his feet? The shot! He didn't see that until late, Danny Vukovic. But again, the Mariners goalkeeper has come up with a crucial save.
Yeah, good skill on that occasion. David Carney just evaded his defender, and a little bit lucky that they didn't get a little touch on Carney there. A definite penalty. Nice save again from Vukovic.
David Carney, the goal scorer. 3 games remaining after this round of fixtures. Sydney away to Queensland Roar next weekend. Central Coast Mariners have a tough match against Adelaide United. And speaking of Adelaide, Alan Hunter, if this stays as it is, they've got the minor premiership. They'll be popping the champagne down there in South Australia.
Yeah, possibly so. They'll certainly have them cold and ready and waiting.
We're into the final 60 seconds. McFlynn. Well, the crowd not happy. They want the ball at the other end of the park, these Sydney FC supporters. Gumprecht. Good use of the body, good persistent play by Andre Gumprecht. Intelligent pass by Kwasnik. Chekali. All the experience you like from Melvin Chekali there. Good use of the body. He's held his ground. Sydney FC in possession. They're inside their own half though. They need it at the other end. But there is the final whistle. So honours even at Aussie Stadium in round 18 of the Hyundai A-League. It's been a tussle from the outset, fiercely competitive, plenty of opportunities. David Carney produced the equaliser, an element of controversy about it. Tommy Pontiac opened the scoring for the visiting team. The margin for error is rapidly diminishing for Perth Glory, who have been hit hard by injuries as they try to chase down a top 4 position. Hello and welcome to a rainy Members Equity Stadium where the Glory host runaway leaders Adelaide United in round 18 of the Hyundai A-League. Maury gets in front of the defence. Aloisi with the clearance. Adelaide now with their first chance on the counter. It's Chu. He has 3 white shirts in the middle. Chu with a shot and Shenking Chu. What a start for Adelaide United. Is that the goal which will set them on the way to the minor premiership? Jason Petkovic beaten by the quality of Shenking Chu.
Shenking Chu, take a bow. Fantastic. Jamie Coyne probably caught out of position here. Goes past. Thank you very much. Top corner where the Spiders live. Absolutely sensational goal.
Shenking Chu has given the Reds the ideal start here at the Members Equity Stadium. His 4th goal of the season, and he doesn't score poor goals, this player. He only scores good ones. Another illustration of his quality.
Perth Glory looks so good when they knock the ball around like this. But again, Adelaide United, very hard to break down.
Perodo, right in the corner. Again, closed down quickly by Allegis. Koseski. Aloisi out to block. It's rebounded though for the Glory. Coyne needs a good ball in. It's a dangerous cross. Wide! Too close to the keeper. Well, Jamie Coyne has made a habit of that this season. When he does get forward, which is possibly not often enough, the quality of his crossing really is outstanding. Zaleski plays it into space. There's been a collision off the ball. Van Dommel in the vicinity. And he goes into the notebook, Adam Van Dommel. It was Simon Colosimo pushing himself forward. And at the moment, Adelaide a little bit rattled.
Good professional foul there from Van Dommel. And here we have again, great cross in by Jamie Coyne. And that man again, Nicky Ward.
Is Dodd. Chu. It's a rehearsed move from Adelaide. Aloisi goes to the back post. And Jason Petkovic somehow clawed that ball away from the goal line. A few half-hearted appeals from Adelaide that it may have crossed the line. The assistant referee was perfectly positioned, no flag. And that goes down as a great save from the goalkeeper.
Be interesting to see if that crosses the line. Oof. I'll dare say it did, Mike.
Should have been a goal. Well, that's going to be a talking point, no doubt. Particularly when John Cosmina gets to look at the replay. Jason Petkovic did what he had to do. And I dare say he glanced across towards this side of the field to see if the flag was in the air. Here's another look at it.
Yep, no doubt in my mind, that was a goal.
Glory need a goal, preferably sooner rather than later. Mistake from Colosimo. Chance here for Adelaide. Viet. Good cover from Jamie Harnwell.
How good is Jamie Harnwell here? Simon Colosimo gets robbed off the ball. And Jamie Harnwell, how many times has he come and made those telling tackles right in the last ditch? Great stuff, Jamie Harnwell.
Here comes from Chu. A deep corner, the shot from Aloisi! Ross Aloisi! An absolute pile driver. The Adelaide United skipper finally gets his reward, and that, you would imagine, is the ball game.
Cosmina all smiles there, and we talk about experienced players. Ross Aloisi, another sensational player for the Adelaide United cause, and what a strike it was. Jason Pekovic will probably ask himself, could he have done better? But in saying that, what a sensational strike. Here we are, head over the ball, keeps it low.
And Ross Aloisi, who just keeps knocking at the door. We've seen on a number of occasions this year, he's attempted to score from the edge of the box. He backs himself from a distance. It hasn't paid off largely. This time it did. That may be the goal which hands Adelaide United the minor premiership. That may be the goal which ends Perth Glory's hopes of a top 4 finish. That's how important that strike was from the Adelaide United skipper. Really has changed the complexion of this match, and for all their possession, the Glory, as Colosimo tries to repeat the dose. Anything Aloisi can do, I can do better, says Simon Colosimo.
It's a great strike.
Well, the Perth Glory wondered how they would find a way through this Adelaide United defence. They'll be looking at that back four now and going, there is no way through. There is just big, strong defenders everywhere. Cornthwaite, Rees, Costanzo, Valkanis, Van Dommel. Hey, chests it down. They've found a way through. Perth Glory, Nicky Ward. Perhaps a glimmer of hope for the home team. Will it be too little, too late?
Alan Best, the tactical move has paid off. Denny Hay knocks it back. And Nicky Ward fires it in. Great goal. 5 minutes to go. Can Adelaide hang on?
Well, that will certainly liven up proceedings here at the Members Equity Stadium. They look to be down and out, the Perth Glory, and suddenly we're going to have a flurry at the finish. Nicky Ward giving Perth Glory a sniff of a result here when all seemed lost. The Glory season perhaps on the line. Colosimo. Again, Hayes the target. Coyne now. Plenty of purple shirts in the middle. Out comes Bayach, he's missed it. Helped out by his defence. Pantelis. And Adelaide now have run down the clock and have Adelaide United secured the minor premiership. Are Perth Glory out of the running for the top 4? Such an important result here at the Members Equity Stadium. A game played in the rain, played in good spirits, and in the end, the league leaders go home with the points. The early goal from Shen King Chu, setting the visitors on their way. But a last-gasp goal from Nicky Ward, livening things up as far as the Perth Glory were concerned, but it was too little too late. The Glory now have a mountain to climb. All smiles among the Adelaide United players. Ross Aloisi, the winner. The final score here at the Members Equity Stadium. Adelaide United 2, Perth Glory 1.
Adelaide then made it 7 wins in a row to secure the minor premiership with 3 rounds to spare. Newcastle defeated the Knights, while Melbourne kept its faint top 4 hopes alive with a rare victory in Brisbane. Sydney had lost some of its spark since returning from Japan. The pressure really started to mount on Pierre Littbarski after a 2-1 defeat in Brisbane. Elsewhere, Perth and Newcastle took all 3 points. Adelaide finally surrendered, with the Mariners desperate to secure their spot in the playoffs.
Into the feet of Chu, first time looking for Aloisi. Cut out by Brown. Alagic, who can go on a little run, tries to measure the ball in. Chance for Adelaide! Great save off the header from Valkanis by Denny Vukovic.
Oh, it's a wonderful ball from Richie Alagic. Floats it, takes the ball here, just floats it to the back post, and Fernando Reckert pulled off Clark. That's a wonderful header, but a Equally wonderful save from Vukovic.
Now Damien Brown off the misdirected header from Alagic. Across it goes, away by Van Dommel. And an early corner for the Mariners. Now the ball across, looking for Gumprecht. This time Adelaide were awake and they can break with power here. Carl Veert sends it down, continuing the run all the way as Ross Aloisi tries to double back. Did he get a tug from Gumprecht? Mark Shield says yes. And what a reward for the long haul taken by Ross Aloisi.
Well, that's a disaster for Central Coast. Just having finished saying that they'd be happy with the way the score was at 0-0. A corner to them. They go for one play back to the 18-yard box. It was cut out. Carl Veert broke. Ross Aloisi broke his neck. The counter-attack perfect. Clever play from Ross Aloisi. It gives Carl Veert this chance. He's had a bit of a history of penalties this season.
From the spot, Carl Veert on 49 minutes. He buries it. And Hindmarsh comes up. Adelaide's winning run is still on track.
Laurie McKenna, the absolutely filthy, conceding this goal. It's their corner. And it ends up a lightning counter-attack. Clever play from Aloisi. Gumprecht had made the run back. Certainly the arm was around Aloisi. Needless, because Gumprecht had done the hard part. He tracked back, he'd stopped his progress towards the goal. Gave away that, and Carl Veert clinically putting away my favourite shot here from the goal camp. Vukovic going the wrong way. Carl Veert gets on the score sheet. And I talked about his history with penalties, of course, Neil. We remember the one he took in Newcastle. Kwasnick-Pondoleak combination hasn't fired as yet.
Here is Kwasnick off for Brown. Still Damien Brown. The run by Gumprecht is right through on goal! And the equaliser from Adam Kwasnick.
And the most relieved man. And what a way. You give a penalty away at one end and you make the equaliser at the other end. It's a great little run. Watch him, he bursts on through the midfield. The overlapping run. He's played in behind Alagic. No offside. Beautiful ball across the box, and Kwasnick with a simple tap in. And what a response from Central Coast. We just talked about the combination, Pondoleak and Kwasnick. Hasn't worked up until now. Well, it's now got a goal. Adam Kwasnick, with all the good work done by Andre Gumprecht.
Well, the timing of the ball from Damien Brown had to be perfect. And it was that. What a reply from the Mariners, back at 1-1. Just the second one of the season for Adam Kwasnick, and both of them at Hindmarsh Stadium. Here is Kwasnick again, who might try and chip the keeper. Not a bad effort.
It just depends how fit Stuart Petrie is, and I think by being on the bench, he's certainly fit enough to play. It's just a precaution to put him on the bench.
Now the shot comes in from Travis Dodd.
Yeah, lacked the power to really trouble Vukovic. Coming in off the right-hand side in the right midfield spot.
And here goes Stuart Petrie, who's beaten the offside trap. Petrie back for Pondoleak, who missed his kick. Still with O'Sullivan. What an opportunity for the Central Coast. Now the ball in by Osman. Pondoleak got a foot in.
Well, he nearly gets in the second time round, but he's missed a sitter, Pondoleak. And Petrie with an instant impact, cutting it back, coming across him. Tommy Pondoleak tried to take it first time with the left foot.
0-0 at half-time, 1-1 now. Veert from the spot. Kwasnick with the equaliser. Nodded on as Valkanis, and there it is! But the flag is up. Well, it did seem too good to be true for Michael Valkanis all alone.
You talked about the most popular man, the referee's assistant down the other end. And you disallow Kwasnik's goal. Well, there's a very unpopular man as he disallows, but rightfully so, Michael Valkanis's, I must say, wonderful finish in the end. Took it on his chest, volleyed it into the net, but good decision.
It was the last chance of the match here. He wasn't offside by a long way, but definitely off Valkanis. It's been a real battle in 40-plus temperatures. Final score here at Hindmarsh. Adelaide United 1, the Central Coast Mariners 1.
In round 20, the Mariners booked their place in the finals, meaning Melbourne, Queensland and Perth could start planning for next season. Sydney answered its critics with a crucial victory that kept the so-called Glamour Club on track for a coveted top 2 finish, which provided a double chance in the playoffs.
Well, we're seeing a much more advanced role for Alvin Checkley today as well. Already we've seen him go close with a shot on the edge of the box, getting crosses in, seeing him much further forward down the field as well.
Yes, and we might have seen a little smile there from Pierre Lidbarski, so pretty happy with the way the first mere 12 minutes has gone here. Second corner for Sydney, 1 to the glory. They have had 2/3 of possession here, so a real statement being made by Sydney FC.
Set pieces on this side of the field are dangerous, Neil. The sun low in players' eyes.
Now York, up they climb. Hooked over the top by Petrovski, and Petkovic keeps it out. Well, another great chance for Sydney. They are really turning the screws here.
And once again, Jacob Timpano and Alvin Checkley getting up. Sasha Petrovski with a lovely bicycle kick. Luckily for Perth, Petkovic was in the way.
Headed out by Harnwell. Back it comes from Bingley. Great little ball from York. Carney tried it first time. In the road was Colosimo. This time a more conventional ball in! And there is the goal. Big Mark Rudin has wandered up from the back, got there in front of Petkovic, and Sydney have a deserved lead.
That's for sure, Neil. Sydney FC has started this game fantastically well. Change of structure, change of system is suiting them perfectly. There we see a great ball there from Dwight York. David Carney tries the first touch in on his favoured left foot. Mark Rudin getting in there behind Danny Hay. Confusion between Jason Petkovic and Hay. For me, that's Jason Petkovic's ball. He's coming forward 3 metres out, but Mark Rudin showed how brave he was with a good finish.
Switching play all the time, Sydney. Zatkovic. Checkley. Now York. Cross for Milligan. Will cut back inside. Checkley. Ball off by Zatkovic, found Petrovski, little back heel, Bingley get through. Zatkovic continued the run and scores the goal brilliantly in the top corner. Sydney FC are having a field day and the Glory are being ripped to pieces.
Top shelf by Sydney FC there. Lovely back heel from Sasha Petrovski. Matthew Bingley, great vision picking out Zatkovic. Ruben Zatkovic, what a wonderful strike. Cool finish. Just put it in the top corner there. Gave Jason Petkovic absolutely no chance at all.
Now the new man, Caceres, is on a gallop. Hooks back inside. Adrian Caceres still going. And we've got a penalty! Caceres says it was the right decision. Craig Zeta took no time about it. Says to Mark Milligan, you tugged on the shirt, we will go to the spot.
That's the start Perth Glory needed in the second half. Positive substitutions. The half-time by Alan Vest. Then we see Adrian Caceres go past. For me, definite penalty. Mark Milligan grabbed hold of his arm.
It's Despotovski. Bolton saves it and recovers. And still Perth can't score.
Wonderful save there by Clint Bolton. Great chance for Perth Glory to get back into the game. Here we see Clint Bolton pick the right way. Perfect height for a goalkeeper. Metre high off the ground. Clint Bolton did well to save that.
Now David Carney running off Petrovski. David Carney just wide. Well, in a matter of seconds, Sydney could have just about put the Glory out of business.
From a possible 2-1, could have been down 3-0, season over. David Carney there just pulling the ball wide with his right foot.
Corner in from Despotovsky. Up goes Harnwell. Petrovski's clearance only to Ashida. Back it comes over the top. Flag stays down, surely! And there's the goal for Despotovsky, who makes up for missing the penalty. And finally, the Glory fans have got something to shout about.
Will that be the injection of confidence they need? Ashida with a wonderful ball in. Naked-eyed, Bobby Despotovsky was offside there, but a wonderful finish on the back post, bending it into the far post past Clint Bolton.
Staring at outright second, Sydney FC. Their first win since the Club World Championship. And there is the final whistle from Craig Zeta. It's the end of the line as far as the playoffs go for Perth Glory. Despotovsky got one back, but not enough. It was an up and down day. He missed one from the spot as well. But Sydney FC have bounced back here, jumping over the top of the Mariners and Newcastle to sit outright second ahead of the blockbuster at home to Adelaide. Final score here at Members Equity Stadium. Perth Glory 1, Sydney FC 2.
The 21st and final round of the regular season produced wins for Melbourne and Perth, while Sydney gained a huge morale boost ahead of the playoffs, beating Adelaide in front of a new record crowd of 25,557 fans.
Here's Corica, lovely turn. York's made a diagonal run, still Corica. Can Petrovski get the right side? Vital boot Costanzo, now Chekali!
Well, it's a good strike from Melbourne Chekali. Had Zatkovic outside of him. Full-blooded strike. Fortunately for him and fortunately for Beltrami, straight at goalkeeper.
Now, York sends Milligan away. Shut down by Dodd. Travis Dodd has switched sides with Lucas Pentelis. They do that a lot, the young Flyers from Adelaide. Now Carney. Ball took a little deflection! What a touch from Beltrami. Not sure if there was a bit of crossbar in it, but...
Well, he certainly needed to get a touch, and it did take a deflection. And so nearly embarrassed Beltrami, but he recovered well. It certainly didn't come off the crossbar, and he gets a good hand to it.
Perhaps a little wake-up for the Adelaide keeper, who was terrific in that first half. Was there a hand there from Aloisi? There was. And Mark Shield, the whistle has gone to the spot. Adelaide will protest this. Look at the look on Aloisi. The ball hooked back. Well, I wonder whether Aloisi was inside the box. Mark Shield says, I had no choice. Aloisi looks like we'll get a good view of it here. Hook back just there, perhaps just inside. It was the touch from Zatkovic. It's Dwight York! What about that? Time was almost suspended. He went for the delicate, cheeky little chip. The Sydney fans, they held their breath, but now they celebrate. Beltrami was on his backside, and even then he thought he may have had time to get back. Dwight York, who of course missed a penalty against the Mariners, has decided we'll go a different way this time. The cheekiest of chips. York gets his 7th and Sydney have the lead.
But Sydney certainly taking it up to Adelaide in this early parts of the second half. But we know about Adelaide, how many times they've come back from situations this season.
Away goes Travis Dodd off the ball from Timpano. Still Travis Dodd in for 2! And there's the comeback from Adelaide! You picked it, Robbie Slater. They almost love it when they come from behind. The poor ball from Timpano, and Adelaide went bang.
Clint Bolton looks disappointed. That's a wonderful finish from Shinkeng Chu. It's a poor pass, and another defensive error from Sydney FC. Costs them a goal. Travis Dodd driving through the middle. Releases Chu outside of the left foot. What a finish. Here's the run. They're backpedaling. Chu just pulls off Mark Rudin. He has to go towards Travis Dodd. And Chu with the outside of the left foot. That's a brilliant finish, and what a response from Adelaide United.
Rudin battling with Chu. It falls nicely for Dwight York. Off goes Carney. David Carney now puts the foot down. Might go all the way. David Carney comes back on the left. Was he brought down? The whistle's gone.
Yeah, the foul on the edge of the box. David Carney coming on inside, trying to work it onto his left foot. Lunging tackle. Goes past that one. Comes inside. Valkanis inside to Aloisi. There's the foul. Checkley's there. Carney's there. Checkley's got a very powerful strike.
And here is Alvin Checkley! Oh, yes!
Well, I said he had a powerful strike, but that one's literally nearly broken the net. An absolute wonderful strike from Alvin Checkley. Nothing Daniel Petrami could do. That's a set move. Dwight York. That's gone right into the corner. But what a bullet from Alvin Checkley. And the stadium erupts into a sea of blue.
First goal of the season for Alvin Checkley. That's hard to believe, but surely the fullback of the year has given Sydney a 2-1 lead.
Well, what a time to get your first goal of the season. And the fullback of the year, well, we talked about that, Neil, in the pre-game show. I think Dean Heffernan might have something to say about that, but that might have to play with 2 left fullbacks.
Now they double around Reck, trying to put it through for Carl Vert.
Oh, what an interception from Mark Rudin. Carl Vert was through. I tell you, for a 35-year-old Carl Vert, showed a clean pair of heels there, straight through the middle. Rudin managed to come back and get a vital interception. And again, another corner.
That is a massive challenge from Mark Rudin. Valkanis is up again, 86th minute. Can Adelaide find something? Drilled in by Chu. Bolton came!
Oh, would you believe it? Big mistake from Clint Bolton. Cornthwaite with an open goal. He was under a challenge. Shinkeng Chu with the delivery from the corner. He gets up. Bolton's nowhere. Checkley maybe just did enough to put Cornthwaite out.
Now Costanzo. Then Dommel fires it in. Checkley got something on it.
Yeah, it's all very dramatic from Sydney FC.
And there is the whistle. They hang on. What a contest this has been. Litbarski goes to all the troops. The record crowd has seen Sydney nail down second spot by the same scoreline they did last time here against Adelaide. But it has set it up for a titanic battle in the playoffs, Robbie Slater.
Well, what a wonderful match. And we talked about the match of the season being in Adelaide in that 3-2 game, the 3-2 win to Adelaide. But I tell you, this one's matched it for the tension, the massive crowd here. And there will be 2 monumentous. I can't even get the word out.
Momentous. Try that one.
Momentous games when they meet next week and the week after in the major semi-final. Great match, great goals.
Yes, the players come together, the fans, the Cove were unbelievable. Full time here at Aussie Stadium, round 21. Sydney FC 2, Adelaide United 1.
So, Adelaide United finished 7 points clear of Sydney FC, with Central Coast Mariners and Newcastle Jets rounding out the top 4. Perth Glory missed out by a point, followed by Queensland Roar. Melbourne Victory and New Zealand, way down the bottom, could only manage a meagre 6 points in 21 matches. Now we're down to the business end of proceedings. But first, let's look back at 10 of the best goals from the regular season.
At 10, no luck needed for this Irishman.
Now McFlynn might line it up. He tries to dink it over Willis, and he does it. Sydney FC fans celebrate.
A great finish. Chips in with the left foot. He knows where Willis is. Dinks this one over. Back of the net, 3-1 to Sydney.
Coming in at 9, a long-range screamer from the Roar's Korean maestro.
Caro back to Seo. Seo with the shot, and it's 1-0. Just like he did last week. Hyuksu Seo hits a long-range effort and puts the Queensland side up.
At 8, Alvin Checkley loads up and fires.
Here is Alvin Checkley! Oh, yes!
Well, I said he had a powerful strike, but that one's literally nearly broken the net. An absolute wonderful strike from Alvin Checkley.
A great team goal from Sydney comes in at 7.
Ball off by Zatkovic, found Petrosky, little back heel, Bingley get through. Zatkovic continued the run and scores the goal brilliantly in the top corner. Sydney FC are having a field day and the Glory are being ripped to pieces.
Ruben Zatkovic, what a wonderful strike. Cool finish, just put it in the top corner there. Gave Jason Petkovic absolutely no chance at all.
At 6, Archie Thompson has the ball on a string for the victory.
Here's Thompson, surrounded. Archie Thompson. Still going is Thompson. And it's gone in. Archie Thompson. Somehow he has squirmed his way through a forest of Sydney FC defenders and produced a finish of exquisite quality. That is a goal out of the box from Archie Thompson, a player at the top of his game. No chance for Bolton. Thompson makes it 3.
An inch-perfect finish from Sheng King Chu is our number 5.
Away goes Travis Dodd off the ball from Timpano. Still Travis Dodd in for Chu! And there's the comeback from Adelaide!
Here's the run, they're backpedaling. Chu just pulls off Mark Root and he has to go towards Travis Dodd. And Chu with the outside of the left foot. That's a brilliant finish, and what a response from Adelaide United.
At number 4, the distance is no problem for Labino Haliti.
Now Paul Kohler. Haliti, who tries the shot. Labino Haliti! What about that?
Fantastic goal. A bit of inspiration. And tries his luck from a long, long way out. And that's a great strike from the youngster.
Some more Oriental magic comes in at number 3.
Adelaide now with their first chance on the counter. It's Chu. He has 3 white shirts in the middle. Chu with a shot. And Shenking Chu. What a start for Adelaide United. Is that the goal which will set them on the way to the minor premiership? Jason Petkovic beaten by the qualities of Shenking Chu.
And he's back again at number 2.
Across to Shenking Chu. He tries to tip the keeper and does it beautifully. Well, he barely been in the game, Q, and all of a sudden, he says to Tom Willis, pick the bones out of that.
And that's a beautiful finish. Great awareness, great technique. Wonderful goal. One of the best goals of the season.
And our number one comes from way back in round one.
Unbelievable! Noel Spencer! And the captain leads by example.
Not often Noel Spencer gets goals, but when he does, they're to be remembered. Great first touch by Noel Spencer, out of his feet and right up where the Spiders live.
No chance there for Petkovic. Into the top corner from some 25 metres from Noel Spencer.